Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of your favorite black male show, the Brother Peel podcast. Now, today is the first show that Steve the Dean will miss. This has never happened before, but unfortunately, he's going to be with his family tonight, so he can't make it. But today we have some special guests. My boy Dynus, aka Search for a Huru channel, and then we also have Truth Teller 410. There will be some other YouTubers. LAR Movement will be on here. We'll have Anthony Brian Logan on at some point. We'll have Jay Miller Podcast. He'll come on. Some other YouTubers in the community. If you want to join the chat, you definitely can join in the discussion. And today we're talking about this whole idea of black flight. Why do black people leave the hood? Let me put Truth Teller this on a little bit of mute real quick because we got a lot of shit going on in the background. So let me just do this real quick. So what's up, Dynus? What's going on, bro?
What's up? What's good, bro?
Okay. So while we're going to let Truth Teller get situated here, let's talk about this because, first of all, we don't want to make the assumption that all black people in America come from the hood. So I don't want to say that. That's just kind of like a title grasp. But what we do see is a lot of your more talented blacks or more successful blacks tend to leave more of the urban areas to more of a mixed or integrated area. So let me kind of start off with you, Dynus, because you live in Atlanta right now, right?
Correct. Yeah, I live in a neighborhood called the West End.
Okay, let's talk about the West End.
Correct.
What kind of neighborhood is the West End?
It was the Trap. It was known as the Hood. And it's transitioning, meaning it's being gentrified as we speak. So that's the situation for, I guess, Atlanta, not only Atlanta, but the majority of cities in America where, the major cities are being gentrified. But I mean, what makes Atlanta unique is you have a city that's predominantly black, and black people, I guess, with money and resources left the city because it was hood to the suburbs. But what's funny and what's contradicting is now these black people who left are complaining about the gentrification that's taking place in the city. But it's like, okay, you guys left, so we really can't be mad at white people for seeing the value, for seeing the value in these cities when we left the cities. So that's what's unique about it, because I think the misinformation in regards to Atlanta is that it's a black ran city, but you see a lot of black faces, but it's really not a lot of black ownership. So that's what's going on in the West End. You have gentrification going on here, but again, you really can't get mad at white people for seeing the value in something that black people didn't, because the black people who left are the ones that are doing a lot of the complaining.
Okay, let me do this because Truth Teller now, you can just put yourself off mute if you want to talk, bro, because I know you were doing some stuff. Truth Teller, now you wanted to get on, and my boy LAR Movement, I gotta have one of my brother PLs on here. Shout out, he probably eats chicken over there on the other side. So good to have my boy on here. Now let me ask you this, Truth Teller. You really were interested in this particular topic, but you live now in Arizona.
Mm-hmm.
You were in the Bronx, right? Before you were from the Bronx.
Yeah, born and raised, yeah.
Why is somebody like you not in the Bronx anymore?
Because of white flight. And to understand black flight, you have to understand white flight.
Okay.
And you have to understand the history of white flight. And once you understand that, you understand the importance of family and black flight. Now, for me personally, I'm not in the Bronx anymore because the Bronx is, for the most part, a shithole. I'm gonna call it what it is. I've lived in the Bronx. I lived in Brooklyn. I lived in Atlanta before. I lived in Latonia. And when I moved to Latonia will be considered the suburban part of DeKalb County. But I live right next to Decatur, and I felt that was too close to the slum. Once you see, this is what it is. Once you have responsibility, after responsibility starts to enter your life, you understand why you have to get out of those those environments. You understand why you have to leave those elements, because you're surrounded by people who have nothing to look forward to. So if you even think that if they think that you have something that's worth value, or you have something to look forward to, these people will say all day, "I love you, man. I love you, man. I love you, man." But the moment you're not around them, the first thing they're trying to figure out is, "Yo, how can we keep this crab in the bucket with us, in the barrel with us?"
Anthony Brian Logan's in the building, so I'm gonna just put you on hold. Are you guys hearing something on my end, like a static?
I don't hear it.
You don't hear it. Okay. So let me just do this, because we have a LAR movement, and we're gonna let LAR movement weigh in, and then we'll let Anthony Brian Logan, who will definitely bring some expertise to the topic. Now, LAR, let me ask you, because you've lived in several places. You're from Chicago originally, or New Orleans?
New Orleans originally.
New Orleans. So you lived in New Orleans, you lived in Chicago, you lived in Houston.
And DC too.
DC, okay. Why is somebody like yourself, when we talk about this term Black flight, why are Black people that are educated like yourself, went to college, written your own book and everything like this, why do you leave the inner cities?
My first reason, honestly, is because I didn't want to live in the same neighborhood. I didn't want to live in the same city. Like, because I moved as a kid, I saw people in various cities who never left their hometown. So part of my flight was I just didn't want to be in the same hometown for my whole lifetime. The other thing in Chicago is the weather. I wasn't staying in no more snow. I was done. But as far as the community is concerned, it was the energy. Like, it's like an off-balance energy with a pressure of trying to make it out while everybody else is trying to make it out, and people aren't really on the same team. They're competing to pull each other back in. I didn't like that energy. So that's my reasons for in the beginning.
Okay, so what we'll do is this. So now we have ABL. Let me kind of bring him in. Everybody knows who Anthony Brian Logan is. 3 billion subscribers. I'm talking about him all today, because usually he's like, I see. but let me ask you this though, because again, you have your own unique view of the Black community, or Black America. You're from Virginia, in places like this. Your grandfather was in politics, stuff like that. Well, why do you see, like, somebody like yourself that's very talented, you have a lot of things you can contribute to the community? Well, why would you more than likely not live in the community and maybe take your skills somewhere else?
I mean, I did for a long time. I just moved recently. I just moved at the end of last year. I live in Chattanooga now. I was in like the Hampton Roads area of Virginia. Okay. But the thing is, it's like, okay, you there and you're trying to do what you can to help the Black community. You live in amongst the Black community, but what are you getting back? And I don't mean necessarily has to be some kind of reward, like some kind of quid pro quo, like I do for you, you do for me. It doesn't have to be that, but it's like, what am I getting back as far as cooperation, participation? Who's going to help me in my attempt to help the Black community? It's like you out here doing things and it's all in vain. When you're trying to help the Black community, as far as like what I do, I'm a graphic designer. I was doing websites and stuff like that. I would do stuff for low cost, sometimes free, but then people give you all kind of grief, cussing at you if you don't get stuff done quick enough for free. And it's like, okay, I'm trying to help you, help me help you, but you don't get that kind of cooperation. And then at the same time, you see things just continuously go downhill. So it's like, what am I doing here? I'm spinning my wheels. I'm not getting anywhere. I'm doing what I can to help, but it's not helping. It's not really making a difference. So I'm gonna just do my own thing. And that's what you see a lot in the Black community. People trying to do things, but it never really gets anywhere. So it's like, you know what? I'm gonna move to ATL or DC and just have a family and do that, and not be worried about trying to help the so-called Black community.
Let me ask you this real quick, because And this is nothing to be anything offensive at all, because I love your work. I love what you're doing. You have great political insight, and you're one of the few Black conservative channels out there that really articulate what they're saying. Your channel shows, I feel, out of I don't think you can get away with the kind of channel that you could with the Black audience. It seems like the people who really appreciate your work are either very highly intelligent Blacks or other people of other races who really appreciate your commentary on political issues. And it's a shame that a person like yourself that can contribute so much is not necessarily appreciated in the Black community, but other people appreciate you that are non-Black. Do you feel that Anthony Brian Logan's, his intellect, his ability to analyze things is more important for non-Black people than his own race?
As far as importance, I don't look at, it's kind of a hard question to answer, because I don't look at things. I don't look at who am I going to help as far as it being a racial thing. I look at it as being anybody that's trying to become awake to social issues. Okay. If you Black and you get awake, then that's extra special, because I know how hard it is for that to happen. But that's not necessarily my primary incentive. That's not my primary goal.
I know.
So,
but what I'm saying is, do you think that your work that you do is more appreciated by non-Blacks than Black people?
Probably, but I really don't know. I know some Black folks do appreciate it, and then some folks who are not Black also appreciate it. As far as a percentage, I can't really tell, because I get hate from all sides, from everybody, from all races. The white liberals they're probably my number one haters. They call the police on you for hate speech. The Black folks, what they'll do is they'll troll you on your YouTube channel. So it's like, okay, I get that. And then you have the other side, people who are just awake. It's not even a racial thing. So as far as percentage, I would say probably about half and half of the white community appreciates what I do, because that's pretty much what you see when it comes to voting. Half of the white community will vote for the Democrat and half for the Republican. Now, as far as Black folks, it's probably maybe about 10 to 20% of the Black community, but more Black men than anything, of course. They appreciate what I do versus the rest either not appreciating it or not understanding it. What I'm trying to do is get more people to understand, because a lot of us never been exposed to it. We've been our whole lives becoming Democrats. We don't even really know what's going on with politics. So when I come with these arguments that I come with to the Black community, it's like they're hearing it for the first time in their lives. They could be 50 years old and they're just now hearing it because they've never been exposed to it. So that's my thing, trying to get people to just hear the gospel. So I guess it's more important for us as Black people to hear it and to appreciate it, because many of us never even experienced it at all.
Okay, so let me just do this, guys, and let me just shout out some people that are on the super chat. For whatever reason, I know I'm on the Blogcast channel. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, but you know what? I do hear the static though, a little bit.
Okay, see, yeah, this static is, I don't know. I got a new cord today, and I need to get another one. I don't know what the problem is, but
you got a USB cord or XLR?
I got a USB cord, but it seems like ever since I have this, I don't know how it's some issues. Let me just shout out to people on the super chat real quick, and shout out to James KTV. When I lived in the hood, the niggas stole my Cadillac. Now I live in suburbia. Fuck them. Fuck the hood. Monty 2 Bucks, JJ Redwood, inspired by Keith, Aunt James, Michael. So shout out to all those people. But let me ask Dynas this here. We won't be on too long tonight, guys. But Dynas, let me ask you this: Do you feel that Black people, let's say like ADL,
correct?
I can't say myself because I'm very niggified and fried chicken eating and shit like that. So niggas like me, right? But let's just say our intelligent, articulate Blacks, like even yourself, LAR movement, the Blacks who don't come across as the non-typical ghetto Blacks. Is there a problem with that Black people appreciating these types of Blacks?
I think I think it doesn't have to do with you really being intellectual or not. It's like ABL said, if you're intellectual, that's fine. But if you're coming from like a conservative Republican point of view, then that's when they don't appreciate you. Versus if you're intellectual, but if you come from a liberal Democratic view, then you're more accepted.
Let's stop the show. That's very important.
Good point.
It's a great point. Why is this?
I mean, like ABL said, I mean, we're just taught from birth, pretty much, vote Democrat, be liberal. You know, I mean, I can give you a prime example. I mean, people talk you know, they get called Donald Trump racist and talk about Trump all you want, but I try to explain to black people, there's rhetoric and then there's action. I mean, Hillary Clinton and Barack Obama have done more to marginalize. Hey, what is that?
Right, driving.
Hey, truth teller. Okay, yeah. Hillary Clinton and Barack Obama have done more to marginalize black people all over this planet than Donald Trump has done. And you could point the facts and tell them to their blue in the face. Prime example, what's going on in Libya right now. But they will completely overlook it and still just blame Donald Trump as the racist. Or, you know, and I'm like, okay, well, even if Donald Trump is a racist, which I believe he is, bigoted.
Oh boy.
Barack Obama and Hillary Clinton
We'll get into that later.
still have done more to marginalize black people all over this planet. So, you know, if you say you hate Donald Trump, but you would rather have Hillary Clinton in office, I can't take you serious.
Okay, we'll get to True Teller in just a moment. I know he's on the road, but let me just do this real quick because we want to get to LAR. Okay, because here's where we're going to really get deep into the conversation, I think. Okay, you have educated blacks who are very smart and very bright. And in our community, I feel that if you are very bright and you're very smart, you have to be dumb to be accepted to a certain degree, or you need to be down with what is stupid. Do you feel that these intelligent blacks who could lead the race are forced? Because, you know, he did say that if you're intelligent, you must do the Michael Eric Dyson thing, or the Cornel West thing.
Yep.
You have to come from this. You can't do the Thomas Sowell thing, because if you do that, then you're a coon. Then you're O'Shea or ABL. See, people gonna hate you. Do you feel that blacks who are intelligent, that they must sip a certain type of stupidity Kool-Aid in order for other blacks to accept them? Is LAR still there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Yeah. What do you think about that, in your opinion?
I think we have a problem with accepting stupid as regular. You said Cornel West, Michael Eric Dyson, Thomas Sowell. They don't have the impact in our community, quote unquote, in culture as Jay-Z or DMX or Drake. That's the problem. Because people are accustomed to seeing buffoonery. We can excuse buffoonery. We see successful buffoonery. So when you don't see that, when you don't look at the other men in the community that's like that, you don't see them, and they're not cool, and they don't have swag, and they don't have millions in the bank, or they're not flossing like these other people are flossing, then it exacerbates that mentality. You know, if you saw Michael Eric Dyson or Cornel West in a Maybach with the rest of Destiny's Child, I bet you people will go down that direction faster. But that's my opinion.
Okay, I know. True Teller said
Very
yes.
good point.
Okay, let me go back to ABL. Welcome to True Teller. He said he just hit me up, so he's going out of his own with reception. So let's get to this real quick, ABL, because now what we're talking about is we have blacks who, obviously our culture is about promoting the antithesis of intelligence. We all probably understand that. American black culture doesn't promote the blacks who are, you know, typically intelligent. We don't really focus on high achievement for the most part. It's not a part of our culture. We do want to protect the criminal, I feel. And let me know if I'm wrong. We want to protect the drug dealer. We want to protect that. We want to promote the single way. We promote what is against the shit that works. So when black people have this culture, and we have like some of the intelligent blacks, like the Michael Eric Dysons and the Boyce Watkins, the people who defend this, who are supposed to be our intellectual people, what impact do you feel that this has on the community as a whole?
Well, it doesn't really, because let's be honest. I'm gonna tell you what's happening with Michael Eric Dyson's, these people that give these the dope boys, all these people's excuses. All they do is appeal to mostly white liberals. Okay, and other like black liberals that are very educated and know better. Michael Eric Dyson and them tell them things that makes them feel good about their position. A lot of people that want to call themselves being saviors of the black community, that come in and do certain programs that get paid from the federal government. They might get paid $100,000, might get a grant or something to go into the black community to do certain things. They want to feel good about themselves. They want to feel like what they're doing is righteous. It's not just exploiting the community. So then they go to him to feel better. Or a white liberal in general, they want to hear that from them to make themselves feel better, or to feel like they're getting an inside scoop of the black community from an intellectual standpoint. So it's not even about the black community itself being influenced by Michael Eric Dyson. There's no real connection between your average everyday dope boy or your regular mom, single mom or something in the hood and Michael Eric Dyson. There's no direct connection between them. Michael Eric Dyson's not talking to them. He's talking to the white liberals and the black liberals, the more educated people who know better or who don't know really what's going on and take his word for it. Mm-hmm. So he's not helping the situation in the black community at all, nor is he really hurting it directly. He is hurting it indirectly by letting people that are in charge think one thing when something else is actually the truth.
Okay, well, let's what's the, let me ask Dias, what is the, when Anthony Brian Logan is saying that these guys are trying to tell, they're hiding the truth.
Right.
What is the truth, you think?
I think the truth is, me personally, is that neither party is going to serve the best interest of black people. And, you know, they keep pushing this notion that the Democrats or the liberals are for us when you go into these Democratic and liberal cities and black people are just doing, as a collective, terrible or bad. I mean, you look at LA, I mean, we're by far the poorest people in LA. I mean, if you go on areas like Skid Row, if you go to the Bay Area, I mean, you look at places like Tent City, we make up the majority of places like Tent City and Skid Row. So, but they want to push this idea that, you know, the Democrats are for us, liberalism is for us, or black politicians like Maxine Waters are for us. But, you know, for example, if you look at this government shutdown, I mean, they were there for DACA, or we'll just say for the majority, the people that were there supporting are non-black illegal immigrants. So they're not fighting for black people at all. And I think, you know, Michael Eric Dyson and all of them, they know that, you know, but for some reason, you know, Cornel West just came around, but for the most part, I think they're just still pandering to black people so they can still get a check from white liberals. So yes, that's what's going on.
Let me do this. Actually, I'll remove one question. And then we'll kind of get into some political discussions here. And there was a brother that super chatted. He says, man, he goes, I don't like Trump, but I do like his economic policies. I'm up $59,000 in my stock portfolio right now. I just some Trump to stay stable for 2 months, and I could possibly up to $200,000. I'll screenshot that proof. Nah, I believe you because you dropping some true money. And shout out to my boy Tony Maceo in the building. I gotta do a one-on-one with Tony Maceo, man. Tony Maceo be dropping some. Anthony Brian Logan, do you know what Tony Maceo is?
No.
You will know him. So just remember that. Right. So this is what I'm gonna ask. I want to ask this. Okay, because we see what black people have. Is the static still coming in?
I can hear you. I don't have it on this end.
No static.
It's a little bit of static, but I can still hear
it. It's a little bit, but it's not bad. It's a little bit, but it's not.
Okay. It's not got microwave juice in microphone. Okay, so what I want to ask you is this. Okay. Because we have more black people as Democrats, and Democrats have fucked up communities. I was just in Sacramento. I blogged it. The Sacramento Kings came to Del Paso Heights, built a brand new court. These niggas fucked it up in about 15 months. Tore it up. You know I love my neighborhood, dog. You know I'm a Heights nigga, but they fucked it up. So my question is this. To all of you on the panel, and when Truth come back, so I'm going to ask LAR movement this. Are black people better being Democrat or Republican, and what black communities look better under the Republican Party than they do right now? And just kind of just freestyle how you feel, because I'm gonna get back into that Trump being racist thing. Let ABL and Dias kind of go at that a little bit. It's not messy, but let me kind of ask you about that. How do you feel about should the black men listen to this podcast? In your opinion, should they go independent? Should they be Democratic, Republican? What's your take on it?
My take, I would say independent, because I don't think us collectively, we know what we're doing with the Democratic Party, and we don't know what we're doing with the Republican Party collectively. Like, nobody's on the same page. Everybody is looking for their individual niche, what they want, and it won't further our people as a whole. Because in New Orleans, they have block parties, second line parties.
Mm-hmm.
And one of my exes is an attorney. And when they were having the election for the governor or mayor, like Landry, whatever his name is now, they voted for him because he came and danced at the second line.
That's all you have to do. I mean, that's what Hillary Clinton did.
And I was talking to her, I was like, do you realize how stupid that sound? That you're gonna vote for this guy because he came and danced and ate some crawfish one day.
That's normal.
And she was like, but he cool. I said, see that cool shit? You're gonna see when you get gentrified. What's happening? It's getting gentrified. And that's why I say we're not thinking ahead as a group, because it looks like with Democrats, if you cool, you could play the saxophone, you could dance, you could sing Al Green, I'm on you.
Preach.
But with Republicans, we like, I don't like them, they racist, I hate them, I don't know why I hate them, I don't know their policies, but I'm supposed to hate them, so I ain't voting. So we need to take a time out and just go independent and look at this stuff collectively. Like, what do Democrats do that work for us, and what do Republicans do that work for us?
Okay, so let me get back to ABO, because I want to kind of get this thing going where Dinah says that Trump is racist. And I think that what Dinah's point of view is how blacks feel about the Republican Party. Now, I know you have no political obligation. Is that right, Anthony Brian Logan?
Well, I'm not registered with a political party, but if you were to ask me who should we vote for, I say Republicans all day long.
Okay, so you lean more towards the Republican. Okay, do you? What's your opinion about the independent thing?
Well, I mean, that's not really the way to go when you're talking about getting things done. I mean, I think first of all, we need to come to a consensus on what our actual agenda is. What is the black agenda? Because people really don't seem to understand what it is. There's no consensus in the black community on what it is. Most people don't even really know anything about an agenda. As like Dinah was saying about all you got to do is, do a little bit of dancing, smoke some weed, play the saxophone, sing some Al Green, and then they'll vote if you're a Democrat, because we've been born, bred, and raised to believe in a Democratic Party. But when it comes to Republicans, all of a sudden we want to become politicians now. Oh, what's their stance on foreign relations and DACA, this, that, and the third.
Right. Exactly.
So, I mean, we got to just tighten up and figure out, what are we really going to push for? What are we going to advocate for as black people? That's the main thing. But as far as being able to get things done right now, to get results, vote red. That's going to be your best bet 99% of the time. I mean, I don't see why. And then just for nothing else, just put your vote behind somebody else. And then when they play the news and they say, well, the black community came out and they all voted for the Republican guy, and that's what changed the election. At that point, you'll start to see some things being done for you, because right now, what's being done for the black man when it comes to politics? Nothing. There's no need to do anything, because we're going to vote Democrat regardless. So why would a Democrat do anything for us? Somebody said to me one day, I forget who was telling me this, but they were saying they were in a Democratic convention meeting. It was a local meeting, and the person asked somebody that was like in charge there, "Hey, what are you doing for the black community?" And the person said, "Nothing. Why should we? We got their vote already." And that's pretty much what it is around the country in the presidential election. They know what it is. So vote red, because if you vote independent, they don't have no chance. Vote red to put your vote behind somebody that's going to be different, first of all, because what are the Democrats doing for us now? Nothing. Put somebody else in charge and see what happens. Just take a risk, gamble. What you going to lose?
Okay, let me say this real quick. I think that I was on the phone on a hangout with Brotherhood Lessons, Mr. Research, and he was saying black men should be independent. And I kind of see that point. But as I thought about it today, and Truth Teller, we'll come to you real quick, Truth Teller. But I thought about it today. I think I'm going back to my original thought, because the thing about it is if you go independent, that means you're giving the Democrats a chance to get your vote. And you already know if the Democrats get your vote, they ain't gonna do shit. But let me go back to the agenda part that Anthony Brian Logan is talking about. And I'm not politically savvy as he is, because I don't have a political channel. But I do know this: as African-American men or black men, whatever, number one, we don't have an agenda. And number two, you niggas lack to finance the agenda. And I think that the problem with black men, the Democratic or the Republican Party, is that you won't finance what you want to see done. And I think neither party will listen to your black ass without financing the agenda. And you don't have an agenda is the first problem. The second problem is black people as a whole, especially black men, you don't finance it. You don't put your money where your mouth is. And if black people went to the Democrats and put their money where the mouth is, then I think it will force Democrats to do what blacks want. But the thing is that black people have that mentality that, oh, you know, all I gotta do is show up and vote and not pay for what I need to do. That's why we don't get shit. But I definitely think that for right now, voting red for the Republican Party will be a good idea if, and this is only if, you finance the agenda with your money. Because I feel that if blacks go to Republican and don't finance it, they could find themselves, I'm not saying so much off from the Democrats. I think that the Republicans will do a very great job in black communities, but they're going to do a better job if blacks finance their vote and their agenda like the gays have done so, like any other group does so in America. I mean, am I off on this ABL a little bit? Or?
No, you're not. I mean, you got to, vote red. That's going to that's going to be your best bet. You know, voting independent is going to be, it's kind of like a cop-out, honestly, not to be disrespectful to nobody, but it's just like people that voted for McMullen or Gary Johnson in the election. It's a cop-out because you knew that they had no chance of winning. It was between Trump and Hillary. If you didn't vote for either one, you might as well stay home.
No, two things real quick.
Real good. Go ahead.
When I say independent, I don't mean be in the independent party. I mean vote Democrat or Republican when it suits the agenda, but we need an agenda first because we obviously don't know what we're doing right now.
Right.
Okay.
The other thing is, the question I have is, when this comes to us financing stuff, is it that we don't finance it, or is it that we don't have a face to answer to when we put our money on the table?
Well, we got to get an agenda first. Like, if you're going to finance something, how you going to finance? How you going to finance nothing?
No, that's my point. Like, even if we finance it, we normally don't have. We would say the black community did this, but we don't have like a group of people to say you need to answer to them.
Well,
like
you have the Congressional Black Caucus, but
no.
they don't
have the Congressional Black Caucus.
Yeah.
The Congressional Black Caucus has the Congressional Black Caucus.
Right.
We don't have the Congressional Black Caucus.
Let me just do this real quick, guys, and I'm gonna come to Truth Teller real quick. And I'm gonna shout out everybody in the chat just after this at Super Chat. I thank you guys. Keep the likes up. Truth Teller. Now we know what Democratic neighborhoods do to black communities, which makes people that are on this panel want to leave them.
Mm-hmm.
So we know what happens. If the Republicans, if blacks vote Republicans, what do you think that would happen?
Well, first of all, blacks need to vote Republican because you see what voting Democrat does.
Right.
And I'm not saying they need to. What I'm saying is, if you are looking for the same outcome, doing the same thing, they say that's the perfect recipe for insanity.
Yes.
So why not give Republican a try? Because in all actuality, this is why I say Negroes need to understand black history. It was the Republicans who fought for black people. It was the Republicans who said, hey, maybe maybe it's time to stop killing black people. Maybe it's time to stop slavery. Maybe it's time to give them some rights. Maybe it's time to let them get a job. Maybe it's time to let them educate themselves. You see, so what it was Republican and a lot of people, they pussyfoot and they tiptoe and they throw smoke and mirrors when it comes to this. Republicans, they don't have an issue, history showed they don't have an issue with black people. They have issues with the uneducated black man, the uneducated black woman, because the uneducated black man and black woman, they want to put their hand out and get $10. You know, what's the joke? The Democrat walked past the homeless man. Homeless man put his hand out. Democrat gave him $10. Republican walked past the homeless man. Homeless man put his hand out. Republican said, "Get up. I can show you how to go make $10."
Right.
See, we're so lazy when it comes to that. We don't want to understand why we need to embrace the Republican Party. And there's lawyers everywhere. And what's the lawyer motto? You win by hook or crook. But if you try Democrat all the fucking time and you see it's not working, cross the street and see what they got to offer. But across the street, there's no welfare, there's no WIC, there's no vouchers, there's no Section 8. So black people are saying, well, you know, they know what's going on here. They know. Look in New Orleans. When Kanye West was screaming, "Bush don't love us," it was under two black it was under a black governor and a black mayor at the time. Now you see what happened. Before the flood, niggas was living in destitution and poverty.
Yes.
But you can't get them to go across the street because going across the street requires you to pick up a book, learn a trade, love yourself, love your people. And the number one thing black people do not like to do, and anybody on this panel, everybody on this panel will say you're absolutely right. You go across the street to the Republican Party, you now have to have accountability for your own actions. No more excuses. No more excuses while Bonquisha make 10 kids with Tyrone and his 9 friends. And we'll still take care of you. No more of that. Black people, they not ready for that. For one. And when we talk about putting the monies together to create, black people don't know how to trust each other to create anything. Black people don't even understand the concept of, instead of standing online for Air Jordan tennis shoes, why don't we put all our money together, buy a whole bunch of Air Jordan tennis shoes, create a storefront, and then perpetuate that in our communities so we all can have a job. Now, do I believe there's a black community? Hell no. There's white people who have a community that let us live in it.
Yeah, but I disagree a little bit. I just think black people being self-sufficient and moving forward has nothing to do with a Democratic or Republican Party. That's something that just black people need to do. As far as
because the thing about what he was saying is that the whole thing about being self-sufficient and moving forward, when you are attached to the Democratic Party, that's the opposite of what they want you to do.
That's
and
exactly.
They got it set up to where you're going to be permanently attached to them. You're not going to ever do that. You're going to always rely on them for everything you have, for your food, clothing, shelter. That's totally opposite of the mentality you need to have to go forward on your own. Matter of fact, to prevent yourself from going forward and on your own, you're always going to vote Democratic. And we see what the results of that are. 95% of the black community voting for the Democratic Party. Totally just a disproportionate amount. That's the biggest rate out of any group in the United States, maybe outside of the Native American.
Let me just weigh in on this. I understand what Dynas is trying to say, but I think that the greater point is Republicans are not going to give niggas a chance to try.
and that's what I'm trying to say, O'Shea.
Hold on. Wait a minute. Hold on. Slow down. O'Shea, what are we saying here, boss? Hold on. What are we saying?
But what I'm saying, neither Democrat or Republican Party is going to serve the best interest of black people. Like black people wanting to move forward, being self-sufficient, not being lazy is neither a Democrat or a Republican issue. That's something that comes from within.
Okay, I understand that, but here's the thing, Dynas. What you're failing to realize is, what does the Democratic Party tell black people? You're a victim.
What do they tell?
The Democrats tell blacks, you're a victim. It's never your fault for situation. You poor blacks. I mean, do you know what? This is what I think of when I look at the Democratic Party and they look at blacks. What I think is that the white Democrats look at blacks and say, you guys can't achieve anything. The reason why you can't achieve anything is because we didn't give you the excuses. We don't feel that you can do anything. Like, you guys are helpless. That is the attitude that blacks have adopted from this social program from the Democrats, where they feel that, number one, they never need to be accountable, and number two, they can't do anything. The reason why the Republican attitude, because what do the Republicans want or conservatives want? The conservatives want, at least that's what I think, more working families and more people providing for families so that the state doesn't have to pay as much for everything. That's why I think conservative, when I look at conservative politics, I think that's the main biggest thing about it. Is we need people to support themselves, and we need the state not to be supporting other people who are lazy, because if that way we can invest back in education, we can have better roads, the military can be funded, and we can have a better infrastructure. Is that what it is?
It sounds great to me. So I'm
okay.
trying to say
that's what the conservatives want. That's what I think they want. And this is what Republicans are trying to teach. If everybody's accountable, then we will have a better country because we can invest. But when we have Lakeisha or Bonquisha or Jorgito, then we have to take our tax money and spend for these people. And then we're putting social programs, things that take away from the country, that takes away from the country being as great as it could be. And I think that if we have the conservative way of wanting to do things, which is what Republicans want, they want men in the home, they want families, and they want infrastructure, they want business, they want these things thriving so that that the government doesn't have to do as much to bail out losers. What the liberals say is we need social programs, we need welfare, we need Section 8. I mean, all of these things what Democrats want. And so I get what you're saying, but the Democratic attitude is synonymous with failure, lack of achievement. That's their attitude. You don't think so?
I mean, I don't get caught up in it. Like I'm strictly independent. Like I would not vote liberal. I'm sorry, I would not vote Democrat or Republican. I mean, I vote, like, for example, for the like our district, the person that represents our district was a local guy who was an independent, who's actually involved in the community. That's who I voted for. His name is Sean D'Angelo Walton. So I vote for people who I actually see in the community who are working, and neither Democrats or Republicans, I don't see them being active in the community here in Atlanta. You know, they come around when it's time to get those votes, when it's time to election season, but they're not actually doing work in the community. So that's what I'm saying. I don't vote. I'm not voting for either, because I just don't think neither of them serve the best interest of Black people as a collective. Period.
I know you want to get him. Hold on. We're gonna spice it up. We got Jay Miller podcast, and I promise I'm gonna let y'all go crazy. It's gonna be crazy. I'm gonna let Master LAR after Jay Miller, and then we're gonna get on this. Is Donald Trump a racist? We're gonna open up with some real shit. I'm gonna let y'all kill each other. Trust me. I'm gonna get some Hennessy and let y'all fuck each other up, because I know we got some different opinions on this panel. Jay Miller, man, welcome to the podcast, brother. Good to see you, my big bro on YouTube, man. I know you was emailing me today. Hey, brother, you gonna have that podcast tonight? So,
can you guys? How you doing, man? Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
What's happening, fam?
All right, man. You know, thank you guys for having me up on, man. You know, I know I missed a lot already. You know what I'm saying?
Just get ready to get good, dog. Don't worry about that. We got you.
So,
yeah, ready right now.
What's the question? I mean, pretty much you want to go ahead and ask.
Well, the question is this. What we're talking about right now is, since Black Democrats have done such a poor job in Black neighborhoods, especially Black elected officials, or just the Maxine Waters, it's so fucking corrupt. What we're asking is, should Blacks vote Republican to possibly bring some of the educated Blacks, rebuild Black communities, rebuild Black families, reduce the tax spending on, Section 8, Bonquisha and all of them. Do you think that our vote is better served in the Republican Party?
All right, first let me go ahead and say this. You know, when it comes down to politics, I'm gonna be honest with you, I don't vote, you know what I mean? But when it comes down to as far as both parties go, yes, I do understand how both parties work. And I'm gonna go ahead and be honest with you. At this point, if you are a voter, I'm gonna be honest with you. Yeah, it would be good for Black folks to go ahead and sit there and try to, go the Republican side. All right, because let's just be honest here, okay? When it comes down to the Democrats, okay, the Democrats don't really do nothing for Black folks. O'Shea, you from California, I'm from California. All right, California is pretty much a Democratic ran state. All right, in California, for the most part, the best neighborhoods are white neighborhoods for the most part. You know what I'm saying? When it comes down to Black folks voting Democrats, to me, Democrats just seem like they want just your vote. That's it. When it comes down to doing for Black folks, they never do nothing. You know what I mean? So, we're pretty much stuck up in the same situation. Nothing ever gets done. gays are going to get things done for them before blacks will. Okay, you have you have people. What do they call it? I can't even think of it right now. But people that are coming from outside the country. You see that you have a lot of say it again. Yeah, immigrants. Okay, I've seen situations where what was that situation where the guy killed the white lady. White folks are pissed off. You know what I'm saying?
San Francisco.
Yeah, exactly. Okay. Basically, they went ahead and let dude off. All right. My thing, they would, and I have a lot of different feelings about the whole situation, but though they basically let dude off. So basically, it's like, in my own personal opinion, Democrats don't really do nothing. You know what? And when it comes down to conservative, I don't necessarily agree with everything, especially white racist conservatives. I don't agree with a lot of what they do. But when it comes down to a lot of their views, I will go ahead and sit here and say this, that I do believe, from the bottom of my heart, that if black folks was to adopt some of the things that the conservatives believe in, it could actually help black folks. Okay. One of the things since we're talking about, why do black people leave the hood? The Second Amendment. That would help black folks a lot. All right. That's why I back up what's his name, Maj Toure, with the Black Guns Matter. You know what I mean? The whole mindset as far as doing for yourself, that would help blacks a lot. In my own personal opinion, starting up businesses, that would help blacks a lot. You know what I mean? So that's just my thoughts upon it. I don't vote, but I do believe that, yes, if black folks did adopt more of the conservative mindset, definitely would help the black community a lot. My own personal opinion.
Okay, so this is what we're gonna do. I'm gonna go to LAR and come back to you real quick, dog. And then I'm gonna ask a very controversial question. And I'm gonna talk to Super Chat, y'all. Here's the thing. Assuming, and it's the question I want to ask everybody, assuming that the Republicans have ties to racists, should you vote for them still? And that's a question that we're gonna need to ask. And I want everybody to weigh in because I heard Dinah say that Donald Trump is a racist. So let me just say this real quick. I'm gonna shout out the super chatters real quick that are in the stream. I want to thank all these wonderful YouTubers, man, that are here that have took their time out to come and talk about this. All black male panel. All the guys are very, very intelligent. Y'all making me look kind of dumb with making all these good ass points. I was trying to get all these points myself. But I'll let me do that. So let me just shout out the super chat. I thank you guys a lot. We have Liza James O'Shea, you're an awesome moderator. Thank you. Thanks from Cuts Canada. Liza G. Williams, $5 Canadian. Eric Robinson, $5. Great panel, brothers. ABL, Trump is a racist. Just kidding, I'm trolling. $5. True from Troy, $2. O'Shea and ABL keep the good work politically. And as for Roland Martin, if he exists, just remember karma is a bitch. Shout out to him. Don Gordino, pro-blacks would rather live in Donald Trump's neighborhood than black neighborhoods. Okay, we got to talk about that also. Because a lot of pro-blacks don't live around black people. They can afford not to. Howard Cooper, great topic today. The Draco Man. I'm with LAR. After 2016, I stopped being a Democrat. I'm an independent. The Republicans, Democrats are bad. I vote for individual candidates. Travis Star Banging says a lot of black people are going to starve without food and housing. Can we afford to vote Republican? Emetigo says at $10, blacks need to pay attention to the economics. See which party will make you money. You can buy into the market with Republicans, and you can short the market with Democrats. I'm an independent. Okay, let me just ask LAR, and then we'll go to Truth Teller, and then back to the beginning of the panel. The Republican Party, we all agree they have some better value systems for blacks. But obviously, the thing that's maybe not a selling point for blacks is that there are a lot of white racist, white ring groups, the alt-right, supposedly. They are Republican supporters.
Oh boy.
This is what has been said by many blacks and those on the left. Personally, I don't give a fuck if the Klan votes for the Republicans. I don't care. It doesn't matter to me. So, but when you hear certain talking points like Richard Spencer and Breitbart and all these people, do you think that if white racists support Republicans, should that deter blacks from voting Republicans? And we'll start with LAR.
You know what? So we got a lot of conservatives on the panel today. I'm about to put on my super liberal chest thing again.
Oh, here we go.
Fuck with it. You ready, ABL?
Go for it, man.
Well, let's see. I think collectively we more so think that Republicans are racist. We think Republicans are out to get us. They'll kill us the very first chance they get. They say they want us to have our Second Amendment rights, but they'll shoot the hell out of us if we got a gun. We think that white people are haters. If we become self-sufficient, what white people gonna do? They're gonna sabotage it, burn our city down, and steal everything we work for. That's what we go. Let's get this super liberal thing popping. Like the brother was talking about with New Orleans and the Katrina. I could tell you one major thing that turned people off from Republicans with Katrina was either one of George Bush, the senior or junior's wife, was in the Superdome talking about these people live better in this Superdome than they do in their regular lives. That cut the whole city off from Republicans. Like, what? All right, y'all made money stealing from the CIA, dealing drugs, and now you're gonna say this is the best we could live. I got you. Now, because of stuff like the Tea Party, the alt-right, Richard Spencer, the Klan, the Charlottesville, Kitty Gang, it's gonna make black people say, why would I rock with them? Like, we're diametrically opposed. Panthers versus crackers. And that's what it looks like. At the end of the day, Panthers versus crackers. And people talk about the Republican past. That was the past. People forget about all those Republicans, all those Democrats became Republicans because of the civil rights movement. And that's how you got quote unquote blue dog Democrat.
LA movement. Say that one more time. Please repeat that, because I can't stand when people bring out the Republicans ended slavery and all this other.
There was no party switch. There was no party switch. That's a myth. There was no party switch.
Yes, there was a party switch.
I heard the exact same thing, that they switched parties. I heard the same thing.
Myth.
They switched parties.
I actually read some things about that too. I read some stuff about that too myself.
Even if they switch parties.
That is the sole part of the blue dog Democrat. The blue dog Democrat is the example of people who used to be Democrat that flipped to Republicans, but these racist guys stayed Democrats. That's the blue dog Democrat profile.
Exactly.
So it looks like you're getting fucked on both sides, because the blue dog stayed to be your friend but fuck you in the ass. And the Republicans waiting to grab you by the back of the neck and shove his dick down your throat.
Okay.
Wow.
Let me do this. Sorry. Let me do this. We'll bring a little bit of order to it. But I'm gonna let you guys rumble here. Trust me, I like nigga shit. I love it. Trust me. If don't nobody like nigga shit, I love it. But let's do this. Let's let Truth weigh in on this. I'm gonna let y'all just go ahead on free for all. Fuck it. Because I know ABL is ready. I gotta calm him down because he riled up, man. He like Steve the Dean a little bit, but he's more cool about it. But he'll cut your ass off in a minute. Okay, let's go with the truth teller. Truth teller. Okay, let's say this urban myth that Republicans are racist. Donald Trump has ties to racist whites supporting the Klan, and David, what's the guy's name? David, what's his name?
Duke.
David Duke supports him.
Steve Bannon.
Yeah, Bannon. Breitbart.
Right.
Should blacks? Okay, these people, and then obviously you're gonna hear about the blacks that do support Donald Trump are bootlickers. I hear all the time. They're
man. Can I please respond on that?
Guy out of the preacher, Mark Burns. These guys are bootlicking coons that support. Okay, let's assume Donald Trump is a racist. I'm not saying he is, but let's assume he is. Should that deter blacks from going to the Democratic Party? I mean, the Republican Party?
Well, let me say this: if let's just say Donald Trump is a racist, and for the sake of the conversation,
okay,
he's only a racist because of what he was taught by racist people. He's not a racist because he chose to be a racist due to the fact of him educating himself on blacks and whites. Because we all know Donald Trump is not the smartest person in the world.
Nah,
I promise you, intellectually, Donald Trump might be. Listen, this is true. There's nothing against him. Intellectually, he might not be the smartest president. He might be in the bottom 10. But what I'm saying is, if we're gonna call him a racist, we have to now say, like people say, oh, Donald Trump, he's supported by the KKK, and the KKK doesn't mean black people any good. No problem. I'm with that. All right. Let's just say I'm with that for the sake of the argument.
Okay.
I don't see the KKK in the South Bronx making gunning niggas down on the line while they buying Air Jordan tennis shoes.
Preach.
I don't see the KKK selling
Exactly.
drugs to each other out in Harlem. I
Preach.
didn't see the KKK tell what's this nigga name I grew up with, Billy, to throw Tom, and his kid, these are real names, to throw Tom off a roof because Billy's girlfriend liked Tom. I don't see the KKK when it comes to that. When I see the KKK rallying down the street when I lived in Georgia, in South Carolina, that was a peaceful protest. And I see black people saying, well, they shouldn't be marching down the street. Well, they got the right to do that, so they can do whatever the fuck they want. But I didn't see none of them marching down the street talking about kill niggas, kill niggas, kill niggas. But when I would drive by clubs, I seen Tyrone in front of the club talking about, I'm gonna kill this nigga.
Preach.
When they were shooting clubs up, and anybody who was born at this time knows this. When they was down at Freaknik, I didn't see the KKK down there killing people. I seen niggas killing people and niggas raping their own people. I didn't see the KKK. Well, I was too young, but what I'm saying is, I bear witness to this stuff on the news. My mother was born and raised in South Carolina. Every time we went down there, growing up, all the racism I ever had to encounter, not to say there isn't racist white people, was because of black people being jealous. When I went down there with sneakers in New York, these are regular sneakers, but down there, niggas would hate me because of what I had on. When I see black women, look at the news. Tommy Sotomayor talks about it all the time. Black women throwing their children off the roof because they don't want the father to have visitation. I don't see the KKK nowhere. I see David Duke, in their ear saying, hey, throw that little nigga baby off the roof. When a woman chopped the baby up and put the baby in the freezer because she wanted to keep on collecting child support, but she didn't want the responsibility, I didn't hear, and they asked this woman, why'd you do that? I didn't hear her say, the Aryan Nation made me do it.
Exactly.
Was the sheets in the apartment white?
Hey, man. Oh, go ahead. No, go ahead.
If the sheets in the apartment was white, then white folks was there. That's the KKK sheets.
Well, yeah, that's cool.
Can I add on to him?
But all I'm saying is, I'm gonna wrap it up because because I know we got a lot of brothers and we all long-winded. What I'm saying is,
go ahead.
I understand how we can sit there and say the KKK, the Aryan Nation, the white man, the racist, no problem. But when I open my eyes and look out in society, I don't see that narrative. When I walk past white people, I could walk past 20 white people right now. No, I don't know what the hell they are. I don't feel this. I don't feel like they're gonna do something to me. But I walk past a nigga. Excuse me for calling him a nigga. When I walk past a brother, the first thing I do is I watch that nigga out the corner of my eye because I see his stomach is touching his back because I can see the hunger in his eyes because I once upon a time was there. And I know before he go across the street and get those white men, the evil white man who's the devil, before he go over there and get him, he'll get me.
Exactly.
Okay, let me finish real quick. We'll go to we'll come. We're gonna go to ABL Dynasty and then back to Jay Miller. So let me do this real quick, guys. Hit the likes up on the videos. We have 180 people watching. I know I haven't been on this channel on a live show in about almost 2 weeks because I've been kind of busy with my schoolwork and shit. But let's get the live show likes in here. He said, "Look, these brothers. Wait a minute, these niggas. How you gonna go and say? Niggas, I'm sorry, these brothers. Man, that nigga walk off the street like." All right, let's do this. ABL, let's take your point of view. I know you're going to have a little bit of a controversial view that's diametrically opposed to Dynasty. People say that Donald Trump is a racist. Is that a fact or a lie, in your opinion?
Well, I don't see the evidence for it being true. If you want to say something about somebody, present some evidence for it to be so. Now, when you're talking about the presidency,
exactly
what has actually happened under the presidency, I don't see how anything that he has done could be considered racist. Let's look at what's going on right now with the tax reform. And all these companies keep coming out every day talking about be giving bonuses to regular employees, not necessarily to the executives. Excuse me?
They're laying them off too.
I'm saying, but Trump can't prevent a company from laying off employees. Like he can't just say, okay, nobody fire anybody. People get fired every day. So what does that got to do with Trump? What does have to do with Trump is people that are saying because of Trump's tax plan, in the memo, they say, because of Trump's tax plan, we're going to give you bonuses. We're going to put more money into the company. We're going to invest into our employees. Walmart.
Yo, can I say one thing real quick and I'm gonna shut up?
No.
Okay,
go ahead, but let's not make it happen.
I'm sorry, and I it was killing me to say this. When Barack Obama was the president and people was getting laid off, I didn't see nobody say nothing then.
Nobody
Go ahead,
cared.
my fault.
Cool.
Yeah, you
I
good.
humbled
But-
myself.
Can
Go
Donald Trump sing Al Green? No, he
See,
can't.
that's the thing. You see, what I'm seeing on Trump is I'm seeing consistent improvement in the economy, the tax reform. Like regular people are talking about, oh, Trump was for the 1%. So why is it that AT&T gave 200,000 of the regular employees, excluding the high level people, $1,000 bonuses? That's a $200 million bonus program. Okay, plus invest back into the company. Then Walmart raising their wages. So I don't see how that could be racist, because that's helping the everyday person, including a lot of black folks that work these hourly jobs or these low skill jobs. That's going to help us directly. Lowering taxes is going to help. Things that are going to reduce the cost of living and the cost of doing business are going to directly help the black man. So I don't see how anything he's talking about could be considered racist. And he's also against abortion. Abortion has killed 20 million black babies since 1973, Roe v. Wade. Do you know, I'm going to say it one more time. I know I said it a lot, but do you know in 2012, New York City, there were more black babies aborted than were actually born by a margin of 6,500. Now, if he was a racist, he'd be all for abortion, right? More black babies dead, but he's against it. If he was a Democrat, if he's a liberal, he's going to be all for abortion, but nobody calls that racist. Why? It's because we've been born, bred, and raised to believe that the Democrats are going to be on our side, that the other side are going to be the racists. But all throughout the history of the Republican Party, they've been on our side. That's the truth. So this whole thing about the party switch is false. From the beginning, they've been on our side. Since 1864, 1865, Abraham Lincoln, what did he do? Freed the slaves. You could say why he did it. You could say why he did it. You could say why he did it. It doesn't matter. He did it. And then who were some of the first black senators? You're talking about Republicans. When was the first black Democratic senator? What, in the 90s? Come on. Ever since the Republican Party has been around, you're talking about gun rights, the NRA. Who is that going to help more? It's going to help black folks more. Why? Because we are the victims of more of these home invasions, more of these crimes of, personal space being invaded, where you got to defend yourself. We're talking about Democratic cities where we live most of the time. What did they say? Oh, you can't have no guns. Look at Chicago. Oh, it's gun free. You can't buy a gun, right? But the criminals got guns all day long. So when they bust in your crib, you're going to be helpless. So the Democrats say that's fine for you to be helpless in your own house. But the Republicans say, no, defend yourself, right? And then people talking about, the KKK, Richard Spencer, this, that, and the third. Man, please. When was the last time you saw the KKK kill somebody? But every day I turn the news and Jaquan and killed Tyrone every single day in a Democratic place. But nobody cares about that. That's not really a big deal. So let's get our priorities straight and look at reality for what it is, rather than looking at what people have told us is actual reality. Take that red pill and come to the light. Don't be on that blue pill, beta male or beta female mentality.
Okay, let's let Dynas respond to this. So Dynas, it's a pretty decent argument by ABL.
Yes.
I don't like it too much.
And this is the thing. I agree with a lot of what he said.
Okay.
My point is, there's racists on both sides. Do I think Donald Trump's a racist? Absolutely. But do I think Hillary Clinton is a bigger racist? Absolutely.
But what's your reason?
Hold on, Dennis. Well, why do you think Trump is a racist?
I asked the same thing. Yeah. What's your reason?
Surrounding himself with racists. I mean, his comment.
No. Why do you think Trump is a racist? Because you could say that anybody could be around racist, but what makes Trump a racist?
His comment.
Lawsuits.
What comment?
What was it?
His comment.
We're gonna get into the shithole comments too, Dynas. Let me ask
No. What comment? What comment?
Yeah.
His comment in regards to Charlottesville, when he said there were good people on both sides.
There were good people on both sides.
Bro.
That's not racist.
Oh, Dynas. Okay. This will be
Wait
good.
a minute, because when he said that, you got it twisted. Because
Anthony, let him finish. Let him finish. Let him finish.
So you're trying to tell me there's good people.
Let him finish. I know everybody want to get his ass. I want to get into it.
Okay,
So
alt-right, white supremacy. Let me ask you this, ABL. Would you go and march with the alt-right?
no, I wouldn't.
Why not?
That's not my crowd. I'm not into
But I
that.
mean, but the good people.
Yeah, whoop
No.
Yeah, they would. Yeah,
No, see, but look,
But the good
Dynas,
people
let me ask you this,
are good
Dynas. I got see. You don't understand what you're talking about. That's the problem. See, the thing about it, at the time I was in Virginia. I know what happened. So you don't understand what you're talking about. I'm gonna explain to you what's going on, and then you'll understand why I say that what he said was right.
Mm-hmm.
Now, do you know why that march was happening right there in Charlottesville?
Go ahead.
Nah, but do you know? You said yes or no?
You had. From what I saw, it was they didn't want to tear down. They didn't want the statues to be torn down, and they didn't want to get rid of their white heritage and whatnot. Am I correct?
Okay, cool. You good. So it was a statue of Robert E. Lee on the campus of University of Virginia, which, by the way, was founded by Thomas Jefferson. And Thomas Jefferson was a slave owner, but a Democrat. But that's a whole different story. Not digress.
Right.
All of them were slave owners.
But they're all slave owners.
Hold on.
Yeah,
I'm gonna get to it.
Bro.
We can let everybody talk. Go ahead. You guys have a little bit of time. We'll get everybody else.
No Republican slave owner presidents. None. Zero. Because the first Republican president was Abraham Lincoln. All right. But anyway, as I was saying, the reason why the march was happening is because some people, regular everyday people, wanted the statue to stay. It was not necessarily the alt-right, KKK, and all that. Those groups came about later. And then others wanted statue to be gone. And you had regular everyday people, but then you had people from Antifa, Black Lives Matter, and just general rabble rousers that came from different places out of state. So when all of them came together, that's when the violence happened. But just because you had the alt-right over here does not mean that it was just the alt-right over there. They just happened to be part of it because they came from, like, they came after the speech. They came later. You understand what I'm saying? They came later. And then the other side, bad folks came later. But it was regular folks on both sides as well. Trump said during that talk that the alt-right, neo-Nazis or whatever are deplorable, they're despicable. I don't condone. However, there were some people that were not involved with those groups that were on both sides of the situation of, should we remove the statue or should we keep it? That's what he was referring to. So how does that comment get called racist? It doesn't make any sense.
So, let's let them respond, because you gotta let people talk. So let's do this. We'll get to Dynasty, and the other brothers want to talk too. So Dynasty, is there any other reason besides that you think the Dynasty? I mean, in your opinion, do you still think the Trump is racist for any other reason?
I mean, that you had the Central Park 5 situation.
Okay, what about that?
I mean,
Central Park 5. I mean,
let him.
Okay, go ahead.
I mean, yeah, the Central Park 5 situation. I mean, he's been found guilty in regards to the discrimination with his properties.
That's not true.
What do you mean that's not true?
I mean, it was a lawsuit. It was a lawsuit that got settled.
And he lost.
That don't mean he got found guilty.
Come on, he lost a lawsuit.
I mean, anybody can, like, just because you settled out of court, I mean, you got found guilty. That don't mean that.
Okay, so he was defeated. Okay, so those are the reasons why he's racist, because he didn't want to rent to the blacks.
First, okay, let's talk about
hold on. We're gonna come to you, dog.
Wait a minute. I gotta go in a minute. I might come back, but I gotta address these.
We'll let you get
There's a couple issues right quick. Now, the Central Park 5, they did get found guilty at the time. They did go to jail, so it wasn't like he was just totally off. Now they got exonerated many years. Wait, they got exonerated. They got exonerated years later, but it doesn't matter.
Picture, ABL. You have 5 black men that are accused of raping a white woman in New York in the 80s.
Look, at the end of the day, they got found guilty.
Were you expecting them not to get off?
I don't know. At the end of the day,
you have 5 black men who are accused of raping a white woman in the 80s in New York.
Look, at the end of the day, they got found guilty and they went to jail. And if
they were exonerated though.
Later after they went to jail. Let me ask you this, ABL. Do you think that the judicial system is biased or racist towards black people, or there's a history of that?
And there's a history of it, but nowadays not so much. No.
Hey, bro. Hey,
not so much.
It's very biased. It's very biased. Okay.
Not really. Not really.
Okay. Then let me go ahead and ask you this. All right. When they talk about black crime versus white crime, all right. Okay. By sheer numbers, right? No. Let's just keep it real here. Okay, by sheer numbers. Okay. White folks commit more crime than black folks, right? Okay.
Not necessarily.
Yes, they do.
Hold on. By sheer numbers, okay. Yeah. But guess what though? Black people are arrested and are in prison a lot more than white folks. How do you guys explain that? How do you explain that?
You know why?
What crime are you talking about?
Wait, hold up. Listen to this, okay? When you look at the FBI statistics, we ain't gonna go ahead and go by per capita or all that type of stuff. By sheer numbers, because white folks are more than black folks up in the United States of America. They commit the most crime. Yet and still, you have black. Yet and still, there are more. Yet and still, there are more. Wait,
Pause,
come
pause
on,
for a
bro.
moment.
Come on now, ABL. Come on,
Pause for a moment.
come on
Okay,
now. Oh, wait a minute.
let
Let me finish what I'm saying. Let me finish what I'm saying. Let me finish. Okay, let me finish what I'm saying here. But yet still,
let Jay Miller finish, and then we're gonna get
Okay,
to
yeah.
and to go ahead, Jay Miller.
but yet and still, though, there are more black people up in jail, up in prison. How is that possible? We're only 13% of the population. So that tells me and everybody else, if you pay attention, that yes, there is a bias. On top of that, we get longer sentences for committing the exact same crime as white folks.
Okay.
I mean, you have to go ahead and address this. This is something that a lot of white conservatives, they don't want to address that, man.
Can I address it?
Go ahead.
Okay, so you said that just because there are more white folks in the USA, that means that they should be the bigger percentage of people in jail.
Absolutely.
If they're committing more crimes, exactly. If the FBI statistics says they're getting arrested more, they're committing the most crimes, okay, because they are the bigger group. It should be more whites up in prison. It should be because they have, by sheer numbers, they have more arrests. All that up on. You look at the charts, so it should be more whites because they're the bigger group. But there are more blacks up in. You know what I mean? So I don't understand why. Come on now.
There's a simple answer for that. There's a simple answer for that question right there. Very simple.
Racism?
No, because black people don't have the money to go get attorneys to take anything to trial. We so quick to get a public defender, and the public defenders make money off of our guilty pleas. So we you know, and when they tell you you can get life for this, but if you cop out now, we'll give you 10. Black people say, well, you know what? I don't want to do life. I'll take the 10. Case done in a week.
No,
okay,
I gotta say this. I'm gonna say this. That's a good point there. That's go ahead. Go ahead. All right, go ahead.
I'm gonna say this. I gotta go get something to eat.
You gonna come back?
I probably will come back. Yeah, in a minute. But
you love these debates. Okay, go ahead and tell John saying anything.
Now here's what I gotta say. Blacks are about 13% of the population, but what percentage of the murders do we commit? I'm not. Hey, bro, let me check
Answer the question. Answer the question.
No.
Answer the question, please.
No. It's very high. It's very high. But
Answer the question, please. Answer the question, please. Blacks are about 13% of the population in the U.S. What percentage of the murders do we commit in the USA?
What does that have to do?
Anybody want to answer? Anybody want to answer?
No. Hey, when it comes down to black folks in our crime, I'm not dismissing none of that. You know what I'm saying? I've seen the stats. I have to go ahead and look up. I have to go ahead and pull up FBI stuff.
Since nobody want to answer, I'll tell you. Blacks are 13% of the U.S. population. We commit 52% of all murders in the U.S. and we're 48%. And we're 48% of all the victims. So maybe that's why we're in jail more than everybody else.
But all together, though, when you round up all exactly. That's not all crimes.
What crimes?
Crime, ABL.
Exactly. Let's keep it honest here, bro. Come on. Bro, let's keep it a buck here, man. If it's more whites and they're committing the most crime, then there should be more of them up in prison.
But what crimes are you talking about?
All of them together, all of them. You know what I'm saying? There are certain things that black folks do.
Listen to me.
Go ahead, man. Go ahead.
But when you say all crime, you could be talking about petty crime. Like what crime? You talking about robbery, rape, assault, murder?
All of it all together. They're like I stated before. If black folks commit the exact same crimes as white folk, we still get more time. And I understand what Dude was talking about. I understand what Dude was talking about when he sit there and said about us not having the money and stuff, and choosing public defenders. But that tells you right there that yes, there is a bias. You know what I'm saying? Be the fact that you got to have money. You shouldn't have to have money and all this type of extra type of stuff. It should be fair across the board.
Hold on. I know it. ABL.
I'm gonna come back. Yeah,
I know you gotta get back on this. I know you want to. So go ahead and get the ramen noodles, dog. I know you're hungry. So let's do this. Let's do this because we got everybody hyped up, but we're gonna keep it going on because ABL is the firecracker, man, on these debates and shit like that. So I want to go to the LAR movement. Here's the situation. Assuming that the Republicans have history of being racist, Donald Trump, Republican Party, whatever, because we're going to get back to this Negroes and we're going to get back to the original topic in a minute, but I want to kind of start off with a little left real quick. Should black people understand, like, look, there are going to be people who are not going to like me anyway or racist, with me anyway. It doesn't matter if Republicans are racist or not. They can still help me. Do you think that do you think that the Republicans are racist against black? I guess in so many words, what we're talking about.
Okay, I'm gonna say this historically.
Okay.
I was gonna say it before ABL got his food. This is probably the problem.
Okay.
When ABL was talking about the Reconstruction era with a lot of Black Republicans, that was followed by Jim Crow. So obviously, America didn't like Black people as Republicans doing well. You move forward through that. You get to Nixon. He took the country off the gold standard, but he also had the war on drugs, which we all knew was the war on Black people, which was said in the news sometime last year. That's a Republican. You know, follow that by who everybody loved in our community technically was John F. Kennedy. They blew his head off. So that endeared us more to the Democratic Party. You follow that by the Reagan era with trickle-down economics and that whole Iran-Contra CIA drug thing, and him and Bush being part of the blame for the crack era, that fused the fire of hate towards the Republican Party. Now, with Donald Trump, the irony of that is, wasn't Donald Trump a Democrat before?
Yes.
What?
So he's a Democrat who's a Republican president. So now it makes it look very murky. And it's like, see, it was a blue dog Democrat that just went and finally conformed to Darth Hideous and became a true Republican like he always was. So that creates the problem. Like his history with the Central Park Five is a problem. The lawsuits, that's a problem. The presidential campaign, when he was always getting into it and Black people was getting beat up at the rallies and he's disrespecting all other groups and races, that's a problem.
Let me stop you right there. I just got a question. Here's the thing: the Blacks getting beat up at the rallies. I'm not trying to be a bootlicker. Somebody would say. This is what I'm gonna say though. Why the fuck were they there? I mean,
exactly. I agree.
Exactly.
I'm gonna let you talk, but I just gotta say this. But you know, Black people are funny as fuck. You know, and if you don't agree with a person, if white Republicans or Republicans want to have a rally, and you don't, why would you show up and try to interrupt it or try to, you know, it's going to cause physical confrontation with people. The same thing with the Virginia thing. These people were having their own rally, and then you have all these other groups coming. You know you're going to get conflict. So if something happens to you there, then you're going to do that so you can say, "Oh, it's racist." I mean, I don't know. What do you think?
You're absolutely right. But here's the weird part of it. Mm-hmm. If you want Republicans to vote for you, they want us to show class in the midst of adversity and racism in America. So if Black people are there rabble rousing and causing ruckus, shouldn't they show class as an olive branch like we're supposed to do in America, to say, you know what, we should go to that party. We done gave them shit for no reason. I'm telling you, this super liberal thing, I got to get back. I'm going to get on my conservative shit in a minute, though.
Okay. Okay, let's do this. We go, Jay Miller. I'm gonna go to you real quick, and then we'll go to Truth Teller, and then back to Dinas. Let me ask you this, Jay Miller. Do you think that? And I know you don't vote. Let me ask you a question, because you said you don't vote. What's the you have a personal reason why you don't?
My spiritual beliefs. You know what I mean? I don't believe that any human government pretty much can solve all mankind's problems like that.
Okay. So let me
that's all I'm about to give you guys. I don't get into all of that. You know what I mean? You know what
I agree.
That's basically the only reason why. It's not, I understand that, there are some people who really put their trust in human government, but let's just be honest here. I mean, like, no matter what we try, it just don't seem to work. You know what I mean? Let's just be honest here. But
I mean, that's true.
Let me ask you this. So for those people who do vote and stuff like that, do you think Donald Trump's a racist?
Do I think he's a racist? I'm going to go ahead and pull a Tariq Nasheed. I think he's a suspected racist, white supremacist. You know what I mean? That way, ABL, nobody can pin it up on me. You know what I'm saying?
Why do you think he's a suspected racist, white supremacist?
I just believe, like your boy said. You know what I'm saying? Was it how you say your name again, bro?
Dynasty. Search for
Dynasty. Yeah. Some of the things that some of the things that he said, you know what I mean? Some of the people that he chooses to associate himself with, you know what I mean? Now, like Steve Bannon and stuff. I don't know. I'm not gonna sit here and say that I know everything about Steve Bannon, but let's just be honest and stuff. Okay, when it comes down to your association with a certain type of people, if you hang around gangbangers all the time, what people gonna sit there and say about you? You know what I mean? Oh, I'm not a gangbanger. I'm not a gangbanger, but you know, all my partners, and you may not be, but what's the likelihood of you not being one? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I mean, when it comes down to Donald Trump, man, let me tell you, I could care less about that dude. You know what I mean? I'm gonna be honest with you. You know, like a lot of black folks want to complain about dude. You knew exactly what he was like when he got up in office. That's how I sit there and feel, man. You know what I mean? And when it come down to it and stuff like that, hey, he's up in office. He's our president. Ain't nothing you can do. You know what I'm saying? But try to do your best to try to change things and better your own self. You know what I mean? And be honest with you, let's just go ahead and say he was a flat out racist and just was calling everybody niggers, this and that. You know what I'm saying? This ain't nothing that black folks ain't never seen before. You know what I mean? You have had a lot of our freaking ancestors that then went through way more intense racism that we ever have been through. And they have learned to build up under it. You know what I'm saying? I had cats get mad at me because I called out Tariq Nasheed. You know what I'm saying? When he was basically getting interviewed by J.C. Lee Peterson, when they asked him, flat out, like, hey, when he asked him flat out, like, is, like white supremacy holding you back financially? And he's tap dancing around a question, this and that, you know what I mean? I'm like, no, it has not held you back financially. But if he tells people that, you know what I mean? Then he has to basically openly admit that, hey, you know what I mean? That you could do better up under white supremacy. His thing is feeding people, what's the word I'm looking for? The victimhood mentality. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So if he didn't answer the question straight up, that means he had to openly admit that, yeah, black folks, you can do good. You know what I mean? Even under white supremacy. But, when it comes down to Donald Trump, I'm gonna be honest, bro. I mean, I'm gonna let you guys handle him, bro. You know what I'm saying? Because that's not really my area. And, I'm gonna be honest, bro. I mean, I don't do the politics as much as you guys do. So I'm gonna let you guys go ahead and handle that.
Okay. So I'm gonna go to Truth Teller real quick. And then here's what I think personally. Number one, I don't think that it matters to me. I mean, because after living in Poland, where I have little kids come and say nigga, 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 and run off, and people flip you off and shit like that. Like, I've experienced some things like racially things that would make somebody want to kill somebody here in Poland. So, but to me, it matters not who's a racist or not. What I know is even people who serve me here in Poland, the fact is they want my money. And if I have money, they'll fuck with me. That's all I care about. And I think what black people need to understand is stop being so emotional and caring about who likes you or who thinks that you're stupid or whatever, or that you're not capable. It doesn't matter. You don't need the Republican Party to like you, nor do you need them to want to be around you. That's not what this is about. This is about, if I vote for you and I have the money to do it, will you do this for me? And that's the problem, because even a racist will want to do business with you. They want your money. And see, this is what black people need to understand. It doesn't matter if they like you or not. I could care less. White racists don't even fucking faze me. I live in Poland. I get racist shit done to me every fucking month. You know what I mean? I'm desensitized to that shit. I think this problem with blacks is blacks are so emotional. Like, white people, they're going to be white people who are not going to like you. They're going to be white people who think that you're stupid, you're not capable, because you're a monkey or an ape. That's how some whites are going to feel about you, regardless. It matters not. It really matters not. It's besides the point. The point is, if I come with my political vote and I give you the money to do what I said I'm going to do, motherfucker, you better do this for me or I'm pulling my money, and everybody respects that. That's all I got to say about that. Let me get the truth real quick. And do you feel that Donald Trump's a racist? Or what's your point about that?
There was a saying. I mean, there was a speech that was given one time inside of a black church. Mm-hmm. And in that speech, this was what was said about black men. Too many fathers are MIA. Too many fathers are AWOL. Missing from too many lives and too many homes. They have abandoned their responsibilities, acting like boys instead of men. Mm. Now, O'Shea, do you agree with that?
No.
Okay. If Donald Trump said that out of his mouth, he would be a racist. Mm-hmm. But that was said by Barack Hussein Obama. Mm-hmm. And he got a standing ovation.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if Donald Trump says 1 + 1 is 2, is he not right because he's white and he stood next to somebody who who had the KKK outfits on and associate with David Duke? If he said 1 + 1 is 2 in that situation, would he not? Would his answer of 2 be invalid? No. If Donald Trump says niggas, if he come out right now and say black people need to get their shit together because they're lazy, all they want is people to do for them, and they don't even treat their they don't find importance in their own education. We will turn a finger and say, listen to his racist ass, he's racist. But he's only stating facts. I don't care if a racist man listen, if a man wanted to hire me to paint his building and inside of his building is I hate nigga all over the place, but he wants to pay me double than what somebody else will pay me, I'm gonna do it.
What?
Oh wow!
What the fuck?
And I'm gonna tell you. Hold on, I'm gonna tell you why. Because pride, people say I would never work for a racist. Niggas wear Timberlands on their feet all day long, and Timberland said we don't want black people wearing our shit. Tommy Hilfiger said the same thing.
When did Timberland say that? I need
He said it.
Damn, I don't remember exactly when he said it, but this was said. You can look it up. If prove me wrong. Tommy Hilfiger said the same thing. Johnny Versace, same thing. Biggie Smalls wore Versace to the day he died. Now, what I'm saying is, we got black people who say, I would never do nothing for the white man. Fuck the white man. They racist. Or I would never work for Donald Trump. O'Shea, if Donald Trump wanted to hire you right now to follow him around with a camera and report everything that he says and does, would you take the job?
Hell yeah.
Exactly. Black people always hold on. But black people, but you got black people who say they say he's racist. You go out to the Trump Plaza, I see Mexicans and blacks working in there. If he's racist, he wouldn't have him working in there.
That's true.
Donald Trump is not racist. Donald Trump only cares about one color, green. This is why Donald Trump goes to other countries and he'll sit in front of somebody with the same Caucasian skin he have and look at them like, you're beneath me. I'm only doing this because I have to be here and shake your hand.
Exactly.
This is why Donald Trump, I mean, and you can look how he looks at his wife. He looks at his wife like, he don't look at his wife like, man, I love this woman. He looks at her like, yo, come out here, do your job, and then go back to where you at. I just need you here to make me look good. Donald Trump doesn't care about racism. He will use anybody. He will use anybody to better himself. Anybody to better himself. That's not a racist. If you ask me, that's an American.
Can I elaborate something just real quick on on something? What he's saying is true. Let me tell you. I agree with what he's saying at the end. You know, when it comes down to like money is green. See, and black folks need to understand that too. We don't have that type of mentality. As far as black folks sitting up there saying, "Oh, I after white men, this and I'll never work." You work for racist white folks right now and stuff. This is what you're killing me about. A lot of these cats up on YouTube talking all this rah talk. You talk all this type of talk. You go straight back to the white man tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? Smile up in his face and stuff. A lot of our bosses have been racist. You know what I mean? But they're racist. But guess what? They're going to hire a black person just to get the job done. Even if he underpays you, even if he underpays you, he pays the white guy more and stuff. He still is going to hire you to get the job done if it's going to benefit him. You know what I'm saying? Black folks need to understand this. When you're in business, money is green. Okay. You know what I'm saying? You ain't going to sit there. You don't turn that. Oh, it's the white folks over there. I'm going to sit there and, what they'll sell my product to them. See, black folks should already know. Let's keep it real here. You know what I'm saying? That when it comes down to just dealing with black folks in business, we can't just depend on black folks. Black folks don't want to spend no money. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Be honest, especially with other black folks. All the black people I know, all the black folks I know that own their own businesses, majority of their income is from non-black folks. You know what I'm saying? And then to take it back and stuff to the whole hood thing and stuff like that, we can't do no real legitimate business up in the hood. We might get shot and killed. Let's keep it real, man. You know what I'm saying? Because black folks don't respect each other like that. Even up on YouTube and stuff like. One thing I tell you what, O'Shea, man, I ain't gonna lie, bro. Ever since you had told me about what they'll cater to a low hanging fruit, bro, I took that and ran with it. And ever since, man, I took that and ran with it, man. You know what I'm saying? I've noticed, man, when you reach out to real black folks that's really about that, they'll spend their money with you. They'll donate to you. You know what I'm saying? But these other cats, they're all just talking stuff. They want you to tell them what they want to hear. Not the truth, you know what I mean? And just like dudes sit there and say, if Donald Trump came out and said certain things about black, we're lazy, this and that. Of course, you know what? Because we're black folks and we get up into our feelings, we gonna sit there and be feeling some type of way. But we say it to each other all the time. You know what I'm saying? We say it to each other all the time. And the thing about it is that go ahead. My bad. I'm sorry. My bad. Go ahead, man. Go ahead.
Finish your thought. Go ahead. It's fine.
But no, what he's saying is the truth and stuff. So, you know, when black folks sit there and talk about they wouldn't, now I wouldn't go ahead and take it as far as painting the N-word and stuff, you know what I mean, on walls and stuff. But you know what I'm saying? But what he's saying is the truth. They get on here talking all the crazy type of stuff. Man, y'all fools work for the white. A lot of these fools, majority of, let's keep it real. I believe that majority of black folks, because we don't have a lot of businesses, we have businesses, but not enough. You know what I mean? A lot of us still work for the white man and stuff. And a lot of our bosses are racist. I know for a fact that I've worked for some conservative, white dudes, you know what I'm saying, in the HVAC company. I know they were racist. You know what I'm saying?
Yo,
but they still hired me.
Let me not cut you off real quick. I did HVAC too, and the guy who worked for HVAC, he had a Confederate flag on his arm, and he was recorded on video saying things bad about black people, calling them nigger.
Yep.
But you know what? I learned everything I needed to learn about HVAC, so I never have to hire another person to do anything HVAC work for me ever.
Exactly.
From that racist white man.
Preach.
And a lot of black folks don't understand. It's even with HVAC. I didn't get a chance to take it that far, but even with HVAC, if you learn the business and you learn how to sell and stuff, you can run your own business. You can run your own. You know what I'm saying? Because that's an industry where the doors are revolving. You know, it's a revolving door. Cats come and go all the time because they know so much about it that, you know what, though, all you need to do is learn it. And once you're able to sell, you can sit there, open up your own business. I seen an African man doing it, man. Real talk.
Exactly.
Hold on.
Hey, I don't mean to cut y'all off, but I'm about to drop through the mountains and I'm going to lose reception.
Okay, go ahead. So your last thing, I'm good. Go ahead.
If it hang up, I promise you, as soon as I get reception, I'm gonna call back. But all I'm gonna say is the last thing about racism is what you make it. If somebody says, I hate niggas, if you stop your daily life to say, what the fuck you mean you hate niggas, and then go back and forth with them, bro, come on. We all been in racist situations. How come racism has not stopped any of us? If racism is bad, it's bad for black people. But if it can stop you from becoming who you are, something is wrong with you. It is not racism that is hindering you. You are hindering you.
Okay. Let me just do this real quick. Go ahead.
No, I'm done. Like I said, if I lose reception, brothers, if I can't get back to y'all before the show is over, hey, all of y'all are great. I love this panel, and I can't wait to do it again. O'Shea, you know you're my brother. But go ahead.
So shout out to Truth Teller. You guys are getting warm up to. We got ABL. Let me just do it real quick, guys. We're gonna go to Diners real quick, see the witness speak, and then ABL is here. We'll go to him and the LAR movement. Guys, do me a favor, like the video, okay? And again, Jay Miller made a great point. I talked about you brothers over here that always support because we make the content specifically for the brothers. But this is what I want to say. I want to give a shout out to Arain Knights. And he donated $10 on PayPal. But this is what I want to see. I see a lot of times guys consuming the content over here, guys requesting the ebooks, guys requesting certain things. But here's the thing, and I understand that everybody don't have money, right? But this is a black male podcast, okay? And it starts with supporting little stuff like this, okay? And I got to make the plea because I wanted this to resonate with you guys. When we come and bring all of these black men together, trying to build a network and put this on for black men, this is one of the reasons why we say, why do black people leave the hood? Because we don't have a lot of support a lot of times for people when they do stuff that benefits your narrative. David Carroll talks about this. I talk about this. You know, at the NegroManosphere.com, we have these ebooks. We have the NegroManosphere.com website that comes out every day. For you black men, and I'm not talking about the ones that always donate. We always have the same guys supporting. We need to see new brothers supporting if they can financially. That means $1 on the super chat. That means a like on the video or a share. And this is how we get bigger. You know, we've already have 3 ebooks. We have a comic coming out next week that's already fully done. And so the way that black men specifically can start to politically move is not only voting for yourself, but small things that support you, whether it's $1, whether it's a share or a like. You know, we want to see you brothers get involved in things that are content made for you. That's a small start, okay? And so it's a shame that we see the same people every podcast that donate the same. We always see the same people. And the thing is, I get emails all the time from brothers. Oh, let me get the ebook. Let me get this. Let me get that. Let me get this. So brothers, take initiative to want to see black men build a network, okay? This is one of the reasons why a lot of black people leave the hood. Like, you know, we have people like ABL that can help us out. People like Truth, people like LAR Movement. A lot of times people don't appreciate the things that we're doing. I know that most of you guys do, but this is a good opportunity to, you know, hey, let me get on the email list. I might not have no money, but O'Shea, send me the ebooks. O'Shea, I'm gonna like the video. I'm gonna share the video. See, all of these things are things that you can do, whether you have money or not, to support what we're doing. You can tell somebody about what we're doing. And this is what we need you brothers to do, okay? We need you brothers to support by letting people know about us, know about ABL, know about LAR movement. You know, we're not on here for our health, right? So we're on here trying to edify the black male community. And so if you can't do a super chat donation, I understand. But at least say, let me get on the email list. I'm gonna read the articles every day. You know, and so this is the reason why we need to be able to support. White men support their shit, Asian men support their shit. You brothers got to do the same thing. You have to also play the game that the other groups play. So I want to make that very clear to you black men out there. So again, like the videos. You know, we shouldn't have to tell you guys this. You know, so if you can support. You know, it shouldn't be the same people all the time doing the same support. So again, let me do this real quick. I want to thank everybody for listening in and watching in. Let's go to I believe it was it LAR or was it just Dynast? Okay, so Dynast, let's go to Dynast real quick. Dynast, what are you hearing that you're disagreeing with right now, bro?
I think a couple things. Again, I think there are races on both sides when it comes to Democrats and Republicans. Do I think Donald Trump's a racist? Absolutely. But do I think Hillary Clinton's a racist? Absolutely. No, if I go into a building and there is nigger written all over the place, I am not doing business with that. I don't need the money that bad. I don't care if money is green. I'm not doing business with that individual or with that company. I mean, we have to have some type of self-respect for each other. And yes, you might be working for a racist right now, but I mean, come on, like I'm not doing business with a company that's just openly racist.
Why is that?
Again, I have enough self-respect for myself that I don't need the money that bad that if I go into a building or a business and there's nigger plastered all over everywhere, I'm not doing business with that individual.
I just real quick, I definitely agree with that point. Now, me personally, I wouldn't do no business with somebody had the N-word written all over the wall either. But I'm just saying. But go ahead though. Sorry about that. Go ahead, man.
I definitely don't agree with that. I mean, but yeah, I mean, it's just little things here and there, you know, that I disagree with. But again, at the end of the day, like I said, neither Democrat nor Republican will serve the best interests of black people. Period. And I mean, I think that's just where I stand overall. So I think that's where we disagree. Except for the one brother that said he's spiritual and he feels as if, you know, no man could, I guess, serve your best interest or save you. I mean, I think all of the issues with the black community is going to have to be solved internally by the black community, and neither political party could do that for you unless, like you said, we come up with an agenda, put our money behind a specific candidate, and then maybe they might, in essence, work in our best interest. But I think first we just have to come, you know, the changes have to come from within first.
Okay, let me go to LAR. I know you've been waiting to talk for a minute. LAR, here's the situation. I see all people super chatting. Thank you, Jay Miller. I will get to everybody individually, but LAR, let's talk about this, right? Donald Trump supposedly made this shithole country remark. Okay. So David Carroll made a probably one of the best videos I've ever seen on a topic like this. It was just, if you guys were African American shitholes, and Dynast, you just got back from Benin, so you know about Africa and the undeveloped. I don't know. Is anybody on here been to Africa besides Dynast and me?
I've never been to Africa.
Okay. If you go to Africa, you're going to see a lot of similarities to black neighborhoods. I mean, I think like, I don't know about Dynast, but when I look at Africa, and I'm not talking about how bad it is, but you will see some of the same things. You'll see a lot of non-black people there, Arabs that run the economy, same thing like in black neighborhoods. What I notice is when you see underdeveloped places where other people own businesses, you see a big brain drain in these places. So I guess what I want to know is, LAR, these shitholes are places the Democrats run. What do you think can be done to bring the talented blacks like yourself, Dynast, ABL, What can be done to bring these people back into those communities as an incentive?
Is he there? I think
Is
he's
he
frozen.
froze?
Yeah, I think he's frozen. Yes.
Oh, I thought he was really thinking about that shit.
Me too.
Wow.
I thought he was like, man, you can't do nothing to help these niggas out. Okay, so let me take that that topic to Jay Miller, because Jay Miller, you're from Sacramento, not Sacramento. Oh, LAR, he came back. LAR, I thought he was actually thinking for hella long about the question I was asking. I was like, I started laughing. But you know, these communities that we're from, these ghettos, that it's funny that the Koreans can find a way to make money there, the Arabs can find a way to make money there. What can be done to get talented blacks to come back into some of these black neighborhoods that they have left? Is there going to be an incentive to come back and establish businesses and establish things to control the economies there?
Okay, it's time for me to get my conservative shit on real quick.
Okay, go ahead.
Now, for you conservatives, ABL, O'Shea, isn't conservative the party, the side of business?
It is, yes. I think so.
So here's the problem that we face. We are democratic by and large and so emotional that we don't want to admit that Democrats and the socialism aspect of Democrats haven't taught us not one damn skill in 50, 60 years. But them racist Republicans who have all these businesses got all the skills. So if you want to actually build a community, guess what you got to do? Work with them Republicans. They're the ones who are going to teach you how to pave roads. They're the ones who are going to teach you how to truck drive. They're the ones who are going to teach you how to farm, how to hunt, how to fish.
Mm-hmm.
They're the ones who are going to teach you how to invest. Because if you really want to be honest with yourself, the people that's calling you nigga to your face are still help you make money. The people that's patting you on your back, telling you you're your friend, is stealing the money out your pocket and calling you a nigga when they drive off in a fancy car.
Exactly.
So what do you really want to do? Do you really? Because if we want to talk about the black community coming together and being empowered and being a business a conglomerate and having it just like quote unquote the Jews do and how the Asians do, that means we're gonna have to do business. And the Democrats ain't gonna teach us shit about business.
Well, that's true whether you're in role or not right now. That's absolutely true. Let me just say this real quick. I'm gonna say this. Being over in Poland, I've had a chance to see this society develop pretty well in the city that I'm in. I go to Medical University of Lublin. I've seen them add on a simulation center, oncology hospital. What I can say about Black America is there's a very low human capital. That means you don't have a lot of blacks with the skills you just mentioned: how to build the roads, how to maintain how to build a subway system, how to install high-speed internet. Black people don't know how to do that in America for the most part. So, and you do have a lack of managerial skill set amongst blacks. Like, just to establish like a blog like I have, which is very simple to do, you don't even find those kind of things for black men. So that's just very small stuff. So we're talking about the things that you're talking about. We have a very low human capital, meaning that we don't have a lot of good skills that we can actually build societies with. And you're right. That's something that the Jews do have. Asians have those things. We don't. A lot of African countries are lacking those things too. Let me get to who's next. ABL.
Can I make a comment? Can I make a comment real quick?
Go ahead.
So, but my question is, LAR movement, the Indians, the Chinese, Koreans who come into the black community, who open up businesses or whatnot, who taught them how to do that? Because I mean, and correct me if I'm wrong, they didn't go to Republicans or Democrats to learn those skills. Am I right? I mean, am I right or wrong?
They, true be told, they learn that stuff in their own country. Some of them come here, go back to their countries, teach that stuff. Some of them get a handout from the government, and they let them create businesses and whatnot. That's very true also. But the problem is this. If you want to compete, what you gonna do? You gonna wait on the Democratic Party to tell you we gonna give you some more money to do nothing. Because it's just like winning the lotto. Like the Democratic Party treats us like we're lotto winners. We're gonna give you money and you ain't gonna know what to do with it. So until everybody else knows what to do with their money. Everybody else knows how to come to our communities and overcharge us for shit and go live in the suburbs.
Yeah.
Right.
What do we know?
No, go ahead.
Like, check this out. I'm gonna stop when I say this.
Go ahead.
You were an athlete, right?
Correct.
The Democratic Party is your high school and college coach who got paid for your talent but never gave you shit after you graduated.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Okay, but what are Republicans giving us after we graduate?
Republicans will give you actually a job, or even if they lowball you. It's better being lowballed and working your way up and learning a trade that you can actually work for yourself and make money can do you more service than helping somebody else's agenda who becomes millionaires while you stay broke. It's a tough choice, but it's a choice you got to make.
Let me ask some super chat shout out, guys. Let's switch this human capital thing up because I know it's getting late in certain parts. What time is it in Houston? Like what, 7 o'clock? 6 o'clock?
Yeah, 6:15.
Okay, let me do this real quick. I got a lot of people that have a super chat. I wanted to shout you guys out. He's seeing she sounds out of Indianapolis. Mods, please check for the white nationalists infiltrating the chat. Thanks. Oh, I didn't know there was I left the Justice for All. I left the black community a long motherfucking time ago. Shout out to you, Truth 7360, $5. Howard Cooper. Wherever there's a lot of black people in a public place, I'm leaving. Maurice Anderson. Donald Trump is a real racist. A black man had shared his victory with white women on the Apprentice show. A Jewish man did not. Kingdom panel, greatest panel yet. Jay Miller podcast. Make sure everyone supports. Even a little helps. And you know it's coming back to you. Thanks so much, fam. Black people get racism and nationalism confused. One Titans. Thank you so much. Mr. Grandeur. Truth Teller 410 equals the Tanned. Some other YouTuber. Thank you so much, fam. The funny thing is these libtards say the same things about blacks as conservatives. They are both racist. Bill Maher, prime example. Roscoe Aggs, Diners, if you think Gadon King is a racist. Let me go to ABL. Do you think that there is a lack of in black democratic black communities? Let's assume that ABL for that we find out that a lot of their white Republicans are racist. Would that still be a reason that blacks should not get support from them?
I mean, that's just a weird question to ask because it's like you're saying something that can't be proven and you're saying something that's like a hypothetical. Okay. It's like, okay, what if pizza had poison on it? Would you still eat it? It's like, come on. It's like a fantasy world. The thing is, people want to believe that, so that's why they use that as a reason why they don't want to support the Republican Party because they think that they're racist. So my thing is this: let's just say you have just a bunch of racists everywhere and they control everything. You got to look at what's the best decision for you to make. And obviously, the Democrat Party, that's not the best decision to make. So why not look to other direction and see what is there for you? Mm-hmm. And logically, going the opposite direction, going to the Republican side of things, or being more conservative in general, sure, that just makes more sense for black people. Okay. The Democrat stuff is going to keep us in a state of dependency constantly. It's never going to, it's not going to change at all. So people just need to just stop being caught up in what they've been taught their whole life and be more open-minded. Take that red pill.
Well, what is the red pill? I mean, you say that, I understand. I mean, I think I know what you're talking about, but clarify for those who hear red pill, what are you talking about?
Taking the red pill, that's when you just wake up from the dreamland that you're in. If anybody's seen The Matrix, that's what that was. When Neo got woken up out of the pod, in order for him to have that happen, he was approached in his dream state when he was still in the pod by Morpheus. And Morpheus said, okay, if you want to get out of the pod and see what the real world is like, take this red pill. If you want to stay asleep in his fake dream state, take the blue pill. So take the red pill, wake up. It might be hard, might be kind of scary, but the reality is life is much more worth living when you independent and being able to do things on your own rather than being babied like a child by a Democratic Party, giving you everything that you need to sustain yourself. Not even necessarily want. You might not even get all of what you want. You're getting just enough to get you by every day. That's not how I want to live as a man. And I don't think most of the men in the chat or women in the chat either want to live that way.
No, I agree. I guess let me get to I don't know. I don't know if we covered everything, but let me get to just basically to Jay Miller Speaks Out. Now, we do know that let me just keep really let's get it more amp it up. Black women and black men want different things. Shout out to Obsidian Media Network. Y'all always says this. Black women are the head of the black community, and black men are at the bottom of every metric you can think of in America as a collective, for the most part. Besides being good fathers, they are really good at that. The question is this: what do you think that black men can do to regain control of the community, whether it be politically or not? Because we see that when black men leave the hood, good black men, the hoods turn into shit. There's no order there. There's no extracurricular things for the kids. There's no mentors there. So what do you think that how should black men look at the black community in your opinion, Jay Miller? Should they go back to it, or what do you think that black men can do?
Man, look here. All right, I'm gonna be straight up honest with you. You know, when it comes down to this whole thing about going back to the black community, it sounds like a good idea, okay?
Sure.
But due to the fact, man, our people are so lost, man, it's almost like you're risking your life and stuff. Let's be honest here, man. You know what I'm saying? The stuff that black men already have to go through just to survive in the hood while living in there, okay, is already enough, all right? A lot of black men, such as yourself, ABL, Dynas, LAR movement, okay, when you have brothers like that up in the hood, for the most part, very not much appreciated, all right? My own sister right now finally is just like, looking at the way how we lived, looking at, me and some of our friends that died and, people that get locked up, for life and all this type of stuff, came out and sit there and said, you was a lot more smarter. You know what I mean? Had a lot of these other cats listen to you, probably could have still been alive. You outdid everybody for the most part. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I'm gonna be honest with you, bro. I as of now, man, I have a save yourself attitude. Save yourself, man. You know what I'm saying? What they're saying? Because it just seems to me like no matter what we sit there and try to do to try to help black folks, I mean, you can use your YouTube channel, try to help. You know what I mean? Yes, you're gonna get some well-to-do black people, but for the most part, bro, we dealing with a very dysfunctional group and stuff. We got savages running around up on the loose that nobody want to talk about. You got these cats up on YouTube claim that they freaking pro-black and stuff, right? Pro-black, whatever, conscious community, it all falls up under the same umbrella to me, okay? Mm-hmm. How can you be so for your community when all you do is cherry pick stories about what white people are doing too? Oh, you don't mess with these Beckys because this is the reason why they're doing this. But you got black women that's doing some crazy type of stuff. I just did a story up on my channel where a black woman, was with her boyfriend, killed her own baby, socked him in the back of the head till he pissed all over the place, then went ahead and threw him up in the shower, scolded him till he died. You know what I mean? But they don't talk about this type of stuff. Bro, keep it honest. I'm going to keep it a buck with you, bro. I tried to go back to the hood, man, not too long ago. I don't know if you've been listening to my stuff, man. I almost got myself killed, man, due to the fact because I got family that are savages. I'm going to keep it real with you. They live that life, all right? Just by going back to visit. And I was skeptical about doing that. Car got shot up. Dudes come do dumping. We're talking about not no 10 shot. We're talking about, man, 20, maybe 30 shots. You know what I'm saying? Yes. Okay, now to keep it real with you, these are my young nephews and stuff. They all up on the news and stuff. You know what I'm saying? I didn't try to talk to these dudes several times and tried to lead them the right way. Nothing, it's to the point where if you ain't got that father figure, man, and what boils down to it, yes, is father figures. And a lot of black folks need to get this mentality of letting the women lead because we've seen the results of letting the women lead. I'm not trying to put black women down, but let's just keep it honestly a buck and stuff, man. When you ain't got a positive male figure, okay? Because when if you pay attention to like households where the father is up in control, he nips a lot of that stuff up in the butt. You know what I mean? Fools want to act a fool, disrespecting mom, doing stupid stuff. He gonna nip that in the butt. You know what I mean? When you ain't got no father there, bro, all hell breaks loose. Let's just keep it honest here, man. You know what I'm saying? And you know, even up on YouTube as we speak right now, man. You know, every time a black male tries to speak up, tries to do anything positive, who comes and tries to throw a monkey wrench up in that game? You got black women up on YouTube, black women to sit there and talk about, oh, no, my black kings, this and that. But you'll throw these Negroes up under the bus at any given chance. On top of that, you're dealing with these pro-black male simps. These fools sit there and try to take down my channel. You know what I'm saying? So, bro, you know, I'll be honest with you, man. It sounds good. Is it possible, man? Unless you get some strong brothers, man, that's going to come together and really, man, bulldoze a lot of the degenerates and savages and stuff, because these are ones you got black folks just like upon. I'm gonna just wrap it up. I'm sorry, man, but just like just like I was watching y'all show, man, and dude, you know, was calling y'all coons and all this type of stuff. And then when LAR movie asked him, man, he said, okay, so are the savages or the gangbangs are they coons? He's tap dancing around the question because you know why? He doesn't think they're coons. He wants to protect them. You know what I mean? Any of the Negroes that's killing black kids, killing black folks for no reason at all and stuff like that, these Negroes are protected. And if you talk about it, you will sell out to your community. This is what we're dealing with. So you know what? I'm to the point, man, when it's like this, bro. Man, save yourselves. Save yourselves, because there's a reason why you get up out of the hood. Black, even these so-called pro-blacks, they live up at Tyreek Nasheed, all of them fools, they live up in the freaking suburbs around white folks. They talk about them all bad, but you live around white folks, though. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So you know what? Though? We know for a fact, bro, that when it comes down to the black community, yes, we have things to work upon. Could it be possible? Maybe so. But the reason why we get out, because let's be honest here, man, it's a little bit too dangerous, man. I mean, you literally got to risk your life and stuff if you can make it out alive. So I don't know about all this going back to the hood type of talk, because white folks don't talk about it when they leave the trailers. You got Asians that come from different countries. They ain't trying to go back, man. You know what I'm saying? So I think that we need to get this mentality that we need to get away from that mentality. Oh, we got to help everybody, this and that, because man, everybody gonna help us. So, you know, it is what it is, man. That's just my thoughts, man.
You gotta go, ABL?
No, I was saying you got to go. Like, if you in the hood, you got to go. The whole point is to get out. Nobody says my dream is to stay right where I'm at, especially when you're growing up there. Your whole purpose is to leave. Like, it's not to try and go back. What are you really going to do by going back? Nothing. I've been there, done that. It does nothing. All you do is just paint yourself as a target. If you got a little bit of money, you don't even got to be rich. If you got a little bit of money, if you look a little bit like you kind of are doing something about yourself,
getting robbed.
You're getting robbed ASAP. You're going to be the target now. It doesn't matter if you got friends, family. People, like my man said earlier, it could be a guy walking down the street, look like he's hungry. You see it in his eyes. At that point, you become the target. You're not going to be able to help anything. He doesn't care about your plans for the future, trying to revitalize the neighborhood, put money back. He don't think like that. He's thinking about, I'm hungry now. You got the money. I'm going to kill you for your money. It could be $20. Don't matter.
Maybe let me ask you this then, and it's a question for the panel. So why are white people so successful when they come to our hood and put up their microbreweries, farm-to-table restaurants, coffee shops?
You don't want that answer, Dynas.
I want the answer.
No, let's answer it. Let's answer it. Now,
okay.
The reason why they
let me go ahead. Let me go ahead. ABL is about to get real ugly in hood in here.
Go ahead, LAR.
Okay. First and foremost, because we only gangster with each other. We little bitches when white folks show up.
Exactly.
That's why they can come in and set up a microbrewery and piss on your mama's feet. You motherfuckers ain't gonna do shit.
Right.
Bitch, this is where my beer goes, on your feet. We don't want to admit we gangsters with each other, but we some punk ass hoes with other people. And the irony of it is, when we look at people one-on-one, we swear we can whip their ass. But they come in our neighborhoods, no problem. We go in their neighborhoods, we gotta walk silent, because we know how the white folk act. Like, all these hard black people, all these hood black people turn to some straight slave coons when they talk, but they talk about people being coons when they go in the suburb. You better watch these white folks at this mall. You know they ain't playing with us. Don't put them sunshades down. You're gonna LeVar Ball us out here. That's why.
Exactly.
And I'm gonna just say this, even when it comes to the moving part. Here's why our fundamental problem. We look at athletes and entertainers as the people that made it out. I don't care how dysfunctional they are or how good they are. We never ask them motherfuckers to come back. We expect that they're gonna leave and never come back. But you want your doctor, your lawyer, your mailman, your nurse to come live in the hood. But you ain't asking Jay-Z to live in the hood. You ain't asking Pac to live in the hood. You ain't asking Diddy to live in the hood. You ain't asking LeBron to live in the hood. You ain't asking Russell Westbrook to live in the hood. You ain't asking Sierra with all her goodies and her baby daddy Future to live in the hood. You ain't asking Future fucking drug addict ass to live in the hood. You ain't asking T.I. flip-flopping, I'm a gangster. You ain't asking Snoop Dogg, oh, I'm a gangster, I'm a pimp, I'm a Rastafarian, I'm a gospel saying ass nigga to live in the hood.
Exactly.
You know what? I'm gonna say some shit before I get ignorant. I'm gonna stop.
Go ahead.
Let me just say this one thing real quick, guys, and I'm gonna get the super chats in a minute. This is what I've noticed. So I moved to Poland in 2015. I can't speak the language here or anything, but you know, when you live, I'm not saying even out of the country. You know, when you go to the university, I know Dynas went to University of Georgia. When you come from a place like, you know, Del Paso Heights, where I'm from, and you go someplace and you do something that's, you know, like they say difficult to achieve, like, you know, medical school. When you come back, you notice you don't have a lot in common with the people that live there anymore. You just don't. I mean, like you like where you're from. Good to see you, nigga. Hey, what's going on, motherfucker? But you know, you are changed. When your life changes and your goals changes, being around people who are not, even your family, man, because if you're a person that is a person that wants to achieve high things, going back to the ghetto is not where you want to be. It's really a damp on your spirit. And that's, I think, as a progressive Black person, that's one of the biggest selling tools against going back to the community, is because for those of us who come from those inner city ghettos and streets and stuff like that, when you got around other people who may or may not be Black, you know, and you've seen different experiences, because I'm telling you, man, once you go through medical school and you make bonds with different people in different on a different professional level, you're different for the rest of your life. You make new friends that you're always at. You go back to the ghetto and you're like, what am I doing here? You're not the same person. When you go to professional school, you see the world differently, especially when you start traveling. You know, like even my collaboration with Dynas just taught me when I went to Uganda, I didn't see the world the same. Living in Poland, I don't see the world the same as I did before. And it's the same thing, you know. I think the problem for progressive Blacks is once you've made something of yourself and you know what it takes to make it, you may be up 16 or 17 hours in a row, or you may have to do this. You may have to make certain sacrifices. When you go back to the hood, you just don't, you need that energy. You know, when you're around people who are progressive, they have a certain energy about them. I mean, let's look who we have on the panel right now. ABL has 100 and something thousand subscribers. He has way more subs than me. The reason ABL comes onto the chat or to the channel is because he knows I'm a progressive channel. Progressive people have a certain energy about one another. We are attracted to one another. And when you go to the hood, you don't see that. And I think that's just the problem for a person who wants to be a higher achiever in life. And it's a depressing place. It's decrepit. And
Exactly.
I just wanted to say that. I mean, that's just me. But
When you said that about it being depressing, it is depressing. You know, and that's one thing I don't get. Like, why people so happy? Oh, this is my block. This is, bro. Some of the most depressing things of my life, all my memories from the hood. That's why I had to get away from the city where I'm from, bro. I had to get away from there. I was just talking to my family about this. It's depressing, bro. I don't want to be there no more. You know what I mean? I want better for my kids. You know? Can we admit one of the only reasons most men go back to the hood is because the hood got that ass, though?
yeah. Well, thanks to Dynas, I don't even go to I go to Africa now for that shit. But that's why I want to say this also. When you're a person who is very progressive and you are a person that has high achieving goals, the thing is, you need to be around other people who are high achieving. If you're high achieving goals and you're around people who don't achieve, it's a good chance that those people who don't achieve can bring you down to their level. It's most likely going to happen. And once you've been in a situation where you're around high achieving people, it's addicting. You need to be around those people. Those people help you push to do things that you didn't think you can do. And that's the thing about being around successful people. They push you to another level that you didn't know you can go. When you're around people who don't achieve as much, you're going to be more like them than they're going to be more like you. Because a high achieving person can't make people who don't want to achieve shit. That's one thing you got to understand. And that's what a lot of blacks, that are talented, you want us to go to the hood and help make these motherfuckers who don't want to do shit achieve. It's not possible. They have to want to achieve. You have to want to do something out of life. You have to want to work hard. This is something that, as a black conservative, I take pride in that as an American. I take pride as a black person. I want to work for what I get. I want to do well. It's in me. But when you're around people who don't think like that, man, you can't do nothing for them niggas. Let's just keep that shit real. I'm going to say this and I'm going to be quiet. But New Possibilities, he came on my show last week. Anthony Bryan, you saw him. He said the talented blacks have an obligation to go back to the hood and help blacks who are less fortunate. Those blacks many times don't want shit. So why am I wasting my time and energy fucking with them? That's all I got to say. Who's next? Is Dynasty in or?
I think it's me.
Okay, go ahead.
All right, what's going on?
Yeah, so I mean, this is where I think as a black conservative, that's where I'm at. It's not that I don't want to help black people, because I do, but yeah. I mean, what's your thoughts about the ABL? As a person, you're a motivated person, you're trying to do something. Who do you want to be around?
Now you're right about that. You can't be around the people that the losers. Like I knew that from a long time ago. Like the losers that you grew up around in your city, your hometown. It's best that you leave that situation, go somewhere else, and be around people that are going to be more forward thinking, got the same kind of thought process as you. They don't have to be the same as you, but at least people that have your kind of mindset of being able to push forward. If it's people that's in your local area that you grew up at, you can't make them be the same as you. Especially if it's a lot of them that think that way. You're just one person. Let's say you're around 10 to 15 guys and they're all kind of similar in their life goals. They never left where they have been born and raised. They all kind of do low level menial stuff. They're not really forward thinking. You're going to be pretty much in the same boat as them. They can't relate to you. So the only way you're going to be able to hang around them is if you behave the same as them. That's not going to be helpful for you in your life going forward. Because like you said, O'Shea, they're going to bring you down to their level. They will not be able to help you ascend higher than what you are or even stay where you are. They're going to bring you down. So you cannot go back. You're going to be a target. And if you're not a target, you'll be brought down to their level and you'll eventually fail. You got to keep it moving. You can help from the outside if you want to, throw a basketball tournament or something. I don't know, give some money. But you can't
basketball tournament.
Wow.
But for real though,
Jay Miller, we'll take an international discussion because okay, so here's the thing, Dynas. You have been let's count the African countries because I want you to be an inspiration to people listening to this. I think I remember all of them. Let me start. Kenya is one, right?
Right.
Kenya, South Africa, Ghana, Togo, Benin, Senegal, Namibia, Tanzania. I don't know what's the other one. Mali, okay.
Kenya, Tanzania, Mali, South Africa, Namibia. I think that's all of them. I think
that's all. Okay. So here's the thing, right? Let's look at what is the difference between somebody, let's say ABL or Jay Miller podcast. In the hood and the ghetto, there's an issue. But let's say you have Jay Miller podcast or ABL who takes their podcast or their business sense to Togo. Let's not use Togo because Togo's Francophone. Let's use Ghana, the market of Ghana, which is English speaking. Okay, what is the difference between one of us brothers saying, okay, we don't want to go back to the hood and rebuild, but we'll go build in somebody like in Cape Coast, Ghana, or Kumasi, where it's actually the hood is better looking than Kumasi. But what about these blacks that don't want to be in
I mean, the hood isn't better,
but looking maybe at Africa as a developer market, but that looks worse than the hood. What's the difference?
I think I mean the people of Africa are eager to learn. And then I think the one thing you don't have to worry about is that hood culture. I mean, some of these areas in Africa, which are considered the hood, I mean, I feel comfortable walking around at night. People are friendly. People speak. They have culture. I mean, I did a whole video on it. I mean, everybody speaks. I mean, now in Atlanta, I remember one time when I was in the hood in Atlanta, you know, I would go by or go visit with my friends when they had the projects, and you would speak to people, and people will be, they will respond or be hospitable. Now you speak, it's like you say, "What's up?" It's like, "What's up?" You know, like they're ready to dump on you. So I just think Africans have more of a code of conduct, or they do have a code of conduct, and then the culture, and then they're all eager to learn and seek out new opportunities. So I think that's the difference over there than it would be over here in the hood over here.
Okay, let me just say this because in the hood, there are a lot of places like I was in Inglewood, that's considered maybe the hood, and even in the Heights. It doesn't look bad. Inglewood's looking good now, but Del Paso Heights doesn't look necessarily bad. It looks like it's clean, but it's the mentality of the blacks there that is different than the mentality of the blacks in Ghana, right?
Right, correct. It's the mentality, correct.
Okay, so really what we're saying is it's the shithole mentalities that a lot of these people have. So really a person like ABL in maybe in Monrovia has a startup, does very well because the people are appreciative of his skill set.
Correct.
Okay. So that's the difference. Okay, so let me get to Jamie, and we'll just do one more go around. This 142 here in the morning. Let me shout out to Original Gentleman. If you make it out the hood, you can make the most out of any aspect of your life. Leading your life in the right direction will bring positive followers. Niggas need to stop making excuses. Thanks so much to my man out of Memphis, not Dallas. He just has a Dallas number when he calls into the show because they got hoes. Okay, so Jay Miller, man, let me ask you this. You have I've seen the switch in some of your content because you were kind of like a news reporting, but now you're more for report, you know, kind of like more of like a self-help thing for African American men. What do you think that black men do can, I guess, maybe to work more together to build more of a community since they're going to save themselves? What is it that black men do that you think they can work together more of a like-minded brothers to kind of build more of a fortress for themselves and protecting themselves in the future?
I mean, you know, like when it comes, like for instance, like what we doing right now, all right, you know, getting behind, like not being so, you know, black men have we have an ultimate jealous of and hate for each other. I'm just gonna go ahead and be honest, you know, just because you see, okay, I'll put it this way: a black man have this mentality that, well, you know, if they see a brother, let's say like you, okay, obviously you up on YouTube, you have a very successful channel, you know what I mean, podcast, you're doing good. And you know, I've stated this before that I've seen you get like more donations and stuff. You know what I mean, even in the super chats than, you know, Phil from the Vice Show. I'm gonna keep it real with you. You know, he has like, you know, 700,000 something like that subscribers or whatever the case may be. All right. Just because you see somebody that is doing good and they have a great idea, because wait, hold on, let me get my thoughts again. I'm sorry. Okay. If you see somebody that has a great idea, I believe that you should get behind that person. Even though that you may not have came up with the idea, you know what I'm saying? You should still get behind that person. Learn to, you know, work along with other black men, because black men have have this mentality that, well, if they didn't come up with the idea, they're not going to support somebody else who's doing it. You know what I mean? Because, you know, there's this jealousy thing. Black men need to learn how to, you know, respect each other, especially like even when you greet each other. You know what I mean? Up in the neighborhood, there is this thing, you know. That I don't know if you ever watched this video. I want you guys to go ahead and check out this videos by Neely Fuller Jr. He was talking about this, like this poison with black. You saw that with the cartoons and stuff like that, and how we, you know, we don't even know how to say how you doing, how you doing again, how you doing today, sir. You know, calling each other sir. That's something right there that could definitely help. You know what I mean? I just think that, you know, there's a lot of things that could help black men. You know, but I think that black men should for the most part focus upon, you know, family. You see another brother that's, you know, focusing upon family, you know, upbuild that brother. You know what I'm saying? If you see brothers up online or whatever the case may be, a magazine, you know, even if you don't have the exact same capabilities of that brother, don't go ahead and be jealous and I'm not going to go ahead and support him. You know what I'm saying? Support them. You know what I mean? Because it starts off, you know, we're the heads. You know, I'm not going to get into, you know, who you marry and all that type of stuff. But when it comes down to it, you know, it's about, you know, just respecting each other, supporting each other, you know, coming together, learn how to network together, you know, like you did up on this, you know, podcast. Because to be honest here, before, I'm going to keep it real with you, you know, before you was doing this, I didn't see nobody up on here trying to bring black men together, especially up on the same channel. You know what I'm saying? A lot of cats was a little hesitant to do that type of stuff. I'll honestly give you props. Like, you the first dude I seen up on YouTube that actually have been successful at doing this. Yes, I know you got your little back and forth with other YouTubers here and there, but for the most part, though, let's just be honest here. You know what I mean? Like, I haven't seen nobody like black men, you know, like come together like this up on YouTube until you start doing it. So, you know, things of this type of nature, this can help. And by the way, I want you guys to know that there's cats that's listening to you guys. Even cats up on my job have mentioned you and Donovan Sharp. You know what I'm saying?
Wow.
So, you know,
Really?
yes. Oh, yeah, yeah. Oh, it's an older dude. Yeah, man. You ever heard Donovan Sharp? Because, you know, I do YouTube. Yeah, yeah. O'Shea. Yeah, I watched him. Yeah, man. I was like, y'all be messing with O'Shea. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
So, you know, you never know who you're getting to. You know what I'm saying? You know, you understand where I'm coming from? The thing is about just trying to work together. You can't work together with certain cats. Some cats you ain't going to be able to help, man. I would like for them cats to step aside. You know what I'm saying? The ones that are up in the way. You already know who I'm talking about. But, I mean, there's, you know, just support each other, man. That's all I can really say, man.
And thanks, Jim. It was funny the other day, man, when I was me and Steve did a show and Sod Netter came into the chat. And I think ABL, he saw that.
Yeah, that was dope.
Yeah, ABL. So Sod Netter came in, and so it was good to see that. And I appreciate that. One thing I will say about this real quick, and Dynasty is about me. I ain't shit. This is real talk. ABL know that I have my back before my mouth is filthy. But when I see intelligent black men, I feel like, you know, you can only invest. You have to invest in other people. You know, that's why I support ABL on Patreon. I'm about to sign up for you too, Jay Miller. I support Dynas, and they support me also. But I actually believe that, you know, you get what you get out of people. You know what I mean? And black men as a group, you know, you guys got to stop being so jealous of other brothers. You know what I'm saying? When brothers are talented, it's up to you to try to push those brothers forward. You know what I mean? That's why I have Donovan on my show all the time. That's why I have ABL when he wants to come on. I extend the olive branch to Dynas. These guys are smart. When you have people who are smart, that's how you get ahead. You don't get ahead by, number one, being by yourself, because you need a network, number one. And you need a network, and, you know, people like LAR Movement, these guys are bright. Bright people, man. When you're around them, they're gonna take you places. And a lot of niggas don't understand that. You have to invest in people. When you get your money, you got to pay people. That's how I run my site. Everything I get, when I get a donation, I pay people. You know, I do what I'm supposed to. I help other brothers get money. I help other brothers get subscribers. I help other brothers. I believe in brothers. And guys, that's how this shit works. If you're not a person that believes in brothers, you're not going to do nothing. And that's why, you know, I think what Jay Miller is saying is correct. We can do everything the other races of men are doing if we work together. Let me get to ABL real quick.
All right.
What do you think that they can do? I'm already talking about the Republican Party, but what do you think that black men can do internally?
As far as what, like trying to get together with a political game or what?
Shout out to Mr. Research. I mean, as far as, because if black men are not going to go back to, like I said, these communities, what can black men do to build, you know, a better network, whether it be business, whether it be social, whether it be political? What can these men do?
Well, the first thing is just to get your mind right. Get your mind in the right direction to understand, like I said earlier, have an agenda, understand what's the correct way to go, because you can build a network with the wrong people. You don't want to do that. Build it with the right people. Understand just in general how to behave in society, how to like understand your proper agenda, how to behave, and then find those who are like-minded as you, wherever they may be, whether it be in your city, whether they be in your region, whether it be online, whatever it is, and travel if you got to. Get on that plane. Don't be scared to get on the plane and move around, drive around, do whatever you got to do. You know, move if you got to. If you're living in a place where you feel like things aren't going right, you're not liking it, find somewhere else. If you don't got the money, save or find a way. Just do something different. Change the way that you live in and just make proper decisions and look at some of the great people, the great black men who have done things to change their life, and just study them and see what they have done. And not just black men, but anybody. Look at what they've done and study it and then emulate it, and you'll be able to be better off and get around those who feel similar to you. Don't get around those who you're always fighting with, you're always having problems with. That's just going to create a situation where you're never really going to be able to push forward.
No, I agree. Dynasty, what do you, and shout out again to Mr. Research. He's probably the first black male YouTuber I heard about, like, wanting to get black men to work together, wanting to get, Charles Tyler was one of the, my good friend, the great Charles Tyler, and I was just talking to Mr. Richards on WhatsApp. You know, me and Richard's gonna do another one-on-one. Let me get Dynasty's opinion. What do you think that black men can do? Because you work with a lot of brothers on your channel all over Africa that you have interviews with. You're the only person that does that consistently. What do you think that black men can do to build a better network for themselves, nationally and internationally?
I think just find a group of like-minded people and build. I mean, like ABL was saying, you know, like me, my thing is connecting the diaspora with Africa. So basically what I do, I seek out brothers who are like-minded, and we come onto the platform. We discuss business opportunities, travel opportunities, tourism opportunities, you know, any type of differences or misunderstandings that we might have. And we sit down and we talk about it. And you know, I think people see that, and, you know, they see the value in that. You know, it's just all like we're doing now. It's just about communication and just talking and sharing your experiences and seeing what you have in common and how we could build from it.
Okay.
So that's
you definitely do that. If you're the only person that I see that does this on an international basis. You've interviewed guys from Namibia, Senegal. You inspired me to interview the natural Ghana girl who was in Accra, Ghana. And next week I have Royda Ure from Liberia. If any guys know, her uncle just lost the presidency in Liberia. He's the richest person in Liberia, by the way. So I'm going to interview his niece, who try to help him win the presidency. She'll be on with me next week on my channel. She's a great YouTuber, a little over 1,000 subscribers, and she's like a Americo-Liberian that's from Detroit but back in Liberia. She does a really good job. Royda Ure, so shout out to her, Royda Ure. So you guys check her out. She's a really awesome YouTuber, and her uncle is Benoni Ure. He's like the richest person in the country. So I was able to reach out to her through YouTube, and we're going to do an interview. So shout out to Diners for helping me, get those connections. And then last but not least, LAR Movement, man, brother that has really helped me out a lot. He gave me like 50 topics, man, to do for the Brother Peels. And he's just so smart, man. He comes in and just adds to every show he's on. What do you think that we brothers can do, man, in your opinion, to establish this network better and to do better things?
I'm from the South. My family's from the South.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember that phrase, God helps people who help themselves.
Mm-hmm.
And I believe that what we can do is we need to actually start helping the people who actually help themselves. That's the part, that's why people leave the hood, because the people who help themselves don't get help.
Mm-hmm. So
if you see a brother who's actually helping himself and working hard and pulling himself up by his bootstraps and going through the struggle and doing positive things, that's the person you help. That's the person you give advice to. That's the person you mentor. That's the person you point in the right direction. Because honestly, because I don't live in the hood no more, the most cordial black people are the people outside of the hood who got out of it.
Yes.
Exactly, man. You hit it up on the nail with that one.
Well, like, I don't have no problem going out and seeing a brother or a sister somewhere. I don't care if they in a marriage, if they single, if they interracially dating. What's happening?
No,
but
that's true. That's true. That's true. That's very true.
Can't do that in the hood. If you do that in the hood, you may be ready to pull your pistol or get shot.
Yeah, but the thing is, ABL, a long time ago, man, in the South, not the West Coast. West Coast, you might get shot, but in the South, you could see somebody in the hood and say what's up, and they'll be cordial to you. Now, dude, you might get shot.
Yeah,
like, you can't see that.
Nah.
And see, these are conversations that black folks need to have. You know, there are a lot of black folks, they don't want you speaking about this type of stuff because you know what, it's the truth. And you know, it hurts a lot of black folks' feelings, you know, because they know it's the truth and stuff. And you know, there's a lot of cats that, you know, oh, y'all just coonies, or y'all up on, you know, the platform, you know, talking about white folks' business, all this type of stuff, but they don't mind talking crazy to each other, disrespecting other black folks upon the exact same platform. But when you start, you know, bringing up issues that are really real, these are real issues, you know what I mean? And you can see these issues spilling over up online, you know what I mean? Most black folks, man, to be honest with you, can't even really have a platform where they can speak about these issues showing their face, because what you gonna get? Negroes up on here talking about, when I see you up on the streets, I'm gonna do this and I'm gonna do that, yada yada yada. That's why I got tired of showing my face up on here, you know what I mean? Because I was getting to the point where I was like, man, let one of these Negroes run up. I might really have to go there, you know what I mean? Because it's our folks. No, I'm dead serious, bro. It got to the point, man, where I'm gonna keep it all the way 100, bro. It got to the point where I remember, you know, going out to eat with my wife and my son and stuff, you know, just going out to eat, nice place and stuff. But I had some cats, like, you know, lightweight looking at me. And so in your mind, you're like, I wonder these cats, you know, do they know me from YouTube or something? Do they disagree with something? So, you know, I was drinking a wine glass. I was like, man, just in case, I'm already ready to bust this wine glass, cut somebody freaking throat with it, bro. Stabs. I mean, I hate to think like that, but it's right. Messed up, because this is how black folks are not really respectful to each other, or they're not respectful to a lot of black content creators. Let's be honest here. You know what I'm saying? ABL, man, I'm pretty sure you get a lot of flack for just what you do. I may not agree with everything of how ABL does it, but I ain't gonna sit there and go up at this brother like that. You know what I'm saying? Because I've had conversations, you know, with you up over here. So I don't think that you hate black people and all this type of stuff. You know, I personally don't know how you deal with the people, you know what I'm saying, on your side, because I couldn't do it, but it is what it is, though. But you know what I'm saying? But like, when it comes down to it, man, these type of conversations need to be talked about. And for the cats that's up in the way, they don't want change. They need to step aside. You know, and that's just my own personal opinion. But go ahead, you guys.
No, I agree. I just want to again shout out to Mr. Research. Again, he's in the chat. He's probably the first person that I heard talking about, you know, black male development. That's what you black men need to do. David Carroll, in many ways, although his content is a little maybe abrasive to some people, you know, but a real good kicking ass. And I just really want to say that you know, there's really no excuse for us as a group as to why we can't do anything, or as to why we can't, you know, take advantage of other situations. Because there are other people. I did a video, I don't know if you guys saw it, but it was called The Super Negro Immigrant, in which I was documenting a friend of mine from Burundi who came to the United States. He's now in medical school in Ohio, and he can speak French, he can speak English. He's worked for the United Nations as an accountant for the country of Kenya. And, you know, these are some of the guys you have to compete against. And when these guys become naturalized or become citizens or green card holders, they're your competition, you know, and they come with their international business networks. And not only blacks like him, but other foreigners that come here that are bright. You know, I just wanted to say something real quick. There's an Italian girl that is in one of my classes here in medical school, and she's in the Erasmus program. And you look at her like, well, her language, first language is Italian. You know, she might not do so well. Come to find out that she can read English just as good as anybody else can, and she ended up with the best grade, her first class in medical school in English. And she's Italian speaking. What does it say? This says to me, when it comes to the African American male, that everybody speaks English and they can possibly do it better than you, and they have a higher skill set and connection than you do. So when you look at the fact that you have other people, both male and female, coming to the country as foreigners who already come with advanced degrees or advanced training in multiple languages and skill sets, you can't compete against these people. The only way you can keep people like this out is by politics and by networks and by sticking together as a group of men and coming up with an agenda. Otherwise, you're going to get defeated by super Negro immigrants, super Italian immigrants. Everybody speaks English, brothers. I'm letting you know that right now. They speak it, they write it, and they do it very well. Shout out to Clutch for that donation. I forgot to mention that. So, you know, guys, you guys got to understand that you are in a lot of trouble. Okay? You're in a lot of trouble. If you don't think that you're not in trouble, you are. The world is very competitive, and these people are not fucking around with you. Let me say it again. They're not fucking around with you. They mean big business when they come to the United States, and these immigrants are coming A lot of them are very talented. They have very good skill sets. They can focus for long periods of time, and they don't have time to be fucking around with you. So if you don't keep those people out, or if you don't have political networks set up or are trying to stop that, you're washed. You're done. Forget about it. So if there's not a time for black men to like really kind of just, say like, I'm going to work together with other brothers, you better figure that shit out right now. Because these immigrants that are coming up, they're not fucking with you. They're not playing with you. I don't know if you guys know how serious this is, but if you're not a very skilled worker guy right now, you should be scared. Because you're competing against a lot of people, man, that you think that, oh, they're foreigners, they can't speak English. Bruh, everybody speaks English. Everybody. And if you go and come for somebody like Dynas, who just came from Benin, what do they speak? French? English?
Local language, some
Local
English.
language?
Yeah.
Can you compete with somebody like that? No. It's fucking impossible. Plus, they have international business networks too. So listen, you brothers are at a disadvantage as it is. You only speak English mostly. We only speak that. So you gotta stop fucking around. The world is real out here. So this is what I'm trying to let you guys know. Before that shit happens, you are in a lot of shit. So brothers, I just want to say that. I want to thank everybody for the show. Anybody else have something you want to say real quick before we leave?
No, man. I just
Thanks for having me.
appreciate
I gotta say this. I'm about to start my show in about an hour from now on
Okay.
the channel, and that's youtube.com/ALOGE. It is a call-in show, so if anybody in the comment section got triggered, if you got butt hurt or whatever the case may be, you can call me and talk to me straight on the phone, and we can hash it out. We can figure out what's going on. Again, that is youtube.com/ALOGE. And my name is Anthony Brian Logan. Search me, find me tonight, 9 p.m. Eastern time, 3-hour show. You will get in.
Okay, and guys, if I'm up, I'm definitely gonna be over there on Super Chat. Support Anthony Brian Logan, man, because he has really good shows and very educational. The brother is probably, I think the best political channel here on YouTube. So shout out to everybody, guys. And tomorrow for the Brother Peel, we're gonna do LAR. Are black women more submissive to white men?
Absolutely.
Oh, man.
Especially African women.
Oh boy.
Yeah. So I think if you guys want to come back tomorrow, you guys can. It's gonna be packed. It's gonna be packed. It's gonna be a packed house tomorrow. It's gonna be crazy. The line. We're gonna have the call-in show. So, guys, tomorrow I'll schedule that. The Brother Peel tomorrow night. So LAR, just let me know. And guys, if you guys there, just send me an email. And I know ABL might not be on that one, but he'll definitely be in the comments, roasting people and shit like he always does. All right, so guys, I'll see you over on ABL's chat in about an hour, guys. Peace out.
All right,
Peace
peace.
out, man.